the house. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. You are in the right place. You are in the right place. And I can guarantee you that today you will be impacted with knowledge on how to grow your business from scratch into a multi-billion-dollar business which spread across the globe. The three great speakers today, Dr. Stephen Akintayo, Chairman, GTEX Holdings, Dr. Cosmos Maduka, President, CEO for Charis Group, and Dr. Joy Ade Shokan, CEO Into University, are all loaded to help you understand how you too can also become successful as a business owner and how you can also transform yourself from self-employed to becoming a business owner, but more importantly also how you can also transform yourself or transit from a business owner also to becoming an investor. All of this we do in the program today. So now, without wasting further time, I'm going to go straight to introduce our first speaker, Dr. Stephen Akintayo. So his profile will be up now. So please let's listen to the profile while he prepares to take the very first session for today. All right, so Dr. Stephen's profile will be playing now. Thank you.
Meet Dr. Stephen Akintayo, is Forbes Best of Africa leading investment coach and real estate mogul. He is the chairman of GTEX Holdings, founder of Stephen Akintayo Foundation, and a member of the Forbes Business Council. He is an investment coach, an author, and a force in the real estate industry with the mission to help other people grow their businesses and achieve financial freedom. Dr. Stephen Akintayo is a global player in the corporate world. He juggles so many roles, and he is doing well in all. With a standing ovation, welcome Dr. Stephen Akintayo.
Okay, so let's welcome with a clap. Let's receive Dr. Stephen Akintayo, Chairman, GTEX Holdings. Take the stage. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Barry. It's good to be here, everyone. I want to thank all the team that put together this conference. It's our last free conference for the year. This year, for the first time, we did like 4 free conferences. And someone may wonder why. We are conscious of the economic times in Nigeria. We are conscious of the fact that people are going through a lot. And these conferences are our way of, contributing to alleviate the challenges people are going through. And knowledge is the ultimate source of true wealth and true prosperity. Okay, let me say that again. Knowledge is the ultimate source of true wealth and true prosperity. If you're serious about building wealth, it's really your mind that needs to change. And for your mind to change, you need quality information that will change that mind. So my gratitude goes to our team that worked tirelessly to contact all our various speakers, put a lot together, did a lot of promotion. We have over 6,000 people that register for this conference. In the course of the next 4 days, we have over 20 speakers. We have panel on legal. We have panel on fundraising fund for your business. We have panel session on different aspects of audits, accounting, taxation, so that many of us who are founders, we own our businesses, can learn how to better structure our businesses. A big gratitude again goes to all our speakers who agreed to come and share knowledge and impact our audience. One of the things I decided many years ago, I told God, I said, if you bless me, because when I started my business, one of my biggest problems was finding mentors, finding people that I can just ask questions, right? How do you think? I wasn't from a wealthy background. And so it was difficult to find people who can tell me, oh, this is how to go about your business, Stephen. Do this, do that. So I told God, I said, Lord, if you bless me and grow my business, I will use my influence to get people that naturally most people cannot have access to, right? To begin to come and impact lives of people. So what I couldn't get, I'll do everything in my power to make sure that others are able to get it. So if you wonder why you see me often invest so much resources in things like this, these are the reasons why, because it was what I lacked when I started my business that I'm paying forward. Okay, so a big thank you to everyone. Now, let's get to the class. I'd love to know where you are joining us from. So I want to see the various countries represented in this particular conference. The last one, I think we had over 50 countries, people joining from 50 countries. So let's see whether we beat that record. Or we have Abuja, we have Nigeria. You can just put the city, except you can put the city and the country. So I think that will help. Put the city and the country. So I've seen Venice, Spain. I've seen Cairo in Egypt. I've seen Tamil, Ghana. I've seen Kubal, Afghanistan. Guys, can you believe that? I was not joined from Afghanistan. Wow. Now he's running so fast. I'm struggling to watch Uyo, Edo, Yanagua, Bayelsa, Ontario, Canada, guys. We have Dundee, UK. We have Kano, we have Jos, we have Ilorin. Okay, we have Abeokuta. If I haven't mentioned your city, retype it. It means I couldn't see Calabar. We have, which other city do we have present? And Nasarawa, Anambra, Manchester, UK, Nasarawa as well, Teesside, UK, Nottingham, UK, Delta. Wow, come on. Welcome everyone from, you see now, this is a global conference, right? And that's what I love about technology. Because you just be in one place. Guess what? We have Taiwan, Taipei City, Taiwan. Come on, celebrate different people joining us. Ebonyi is here. London is here. Oshobo is here. Newcastle is here. Come on, celebrate all the various countries we have. London, Benin City. Welcome, everybody. I want to thank you for joining from all over the world. Right? Thank you for joining. Today is going to be a great day, I promise you. Right? We have amazing speakers scheduled for our session, and it's just going to be awesome all the way. Now, let me ask, Nashville, Tennessee. Yes, I was wondering, don't we have US? Okay, Nashville, Tennessee. Okay, Ile-Ife, Anambra. Welcome. Okay, let's go. Who is ready for me today? Okay, if you're ready, and type I'm ready. Okay, if you're ready, come on, type I am ready. I want to be sure that we're all ready for today's session. Now, I'm speaking all through the 4 days. I'll be taking one topic or the other all through the 4 days. However, I'll be covering from sales to leadership in running a business. I'll be covering from raising capital for your business and so many other topics. So every day I'm doing my own session. But it'll be very brief, 40 minutes, 45 minutes, I'm done. But today my session will cover, strictly will cover on sales. Okay, sales, the lifeblood of every business. So I want to ask a simple question. How many of us joining me today are confident to say you are a good salesman or a good saleswoman? Okay, how many of us? Okay, who are joining today? You can confidently say, I'm a good salesman, I'm a good saleswoman. How many of us? Okay, can I see? So my topic is sales, the lifeblood of every business. But how many of us can say, I'm good? Now, if you think you're average, just type, I'm average. If you think you are not good, just type, I'm not good. Okay? There's no shame in it. Oh, beautiful. So I can see that some of you are honest. You say, I am not. Thank you for your honesty. By the way, it is better to be honest than to be deceiving yourself. Self-awareness is a very powerful principle. You must be self-aware. You must know your strength. You must know your weakness. But can I tell you this? Everyone is a marketer. As I speak to you, you have marketed today. I can see somebody typing here. Somebody I know very much, right? Who works with us. He say, I'm not. But what did you think he did when he was introducing me today? Right? Was that not marketing? Okay. Our uncle just marketed me and he thinks he's not, a good salesman. And I think that's the challenge with sales, right? We have a wrong perception and a wrong definition of sales. The average definition people have when it comes to sales is the guy who knocks on every door. Come and buy. If you don't buy, please buy now. Buy, buy, buy. You must buy. You must buy. I beg you to buy. And that's what average of us think sales is. And that's why most of us hate sales. We don't like it because we just have a picture. Come on. Can some of you be honest with me? The picture in your mind when you think of sales, can someone type it? It's not sweet. True of us. The picture you have in your mind is not sweet. But today I'll give you a new picture. How many of you know Cristiano Ronaldo? Come on, talk to me. How many of you know Cristiano Ronaldo? Talk to me. Who knows Cristiano Ronaldo? Right? If you know Cristiano Ronaldo, just come on, type Ronaldo. Is it C7 or is it C9? We write. I can see Professor Felicia says, the GOAT. By the way, Professor Felicia, welcome. Good to see you. She's a professor of finance. Thank you for joining. Right? If you think you like Cristiano Ronaldo, come on, talk to me. Right? Ronaldo, isn't it? Now, is Ronaldo more famous than Messi? Now, I've scattered it to this show. Right? Who is more famous, Ronaldo or Messi? Come on, talk to me. Ronaldo or Messi? Let's see. Messi Oloye. Messiless Messi. Okay? One and only Messi. Okay? Okay? No, the most famous. Don't say both of them. Who is more famous between Ronaldo and Messi? Who is more famous? Okay? I can see more people. I wish I can do a poll now. Just put it up so we can. But from what I'm saying, Ronaldo is believed to be more famous than Messi. Okay? From this poll, from the answers you guys are giving me. Now, and I want to agree. And I'll tell you, how many of you remember the press conference Ronaldo was doing where they put a Coke, beside on the table and they put water and he took away the Coke? How many of you remember? How many of you remember how the shares of Coke dropped by almost $5 billion? If you remember, type I remember. If you didn't remember or you're not aware, type I don't know. In other words, it was a press conference, just like this. Right? Let's assume this Coke. Let's assume this water on the table. Ronaldo just took the Coke. He did not say anything against Coke. He removed the Coke from his table and the shares of Coca-Cola dropped by 5 billion. Right? I assure you, Messi cannot give you that. But do we agree that the fame of Ronaldo is not just because he can play football? Right? He is good, exceptional, undoubtedly. But do you agree with me that the level of fame is not just because he's good at playing football? He has a unique way he has marketed himself that some other players that are better than Ronaldo did not. True of us. Who remembers how Ronaldo stand to take free kick? Come on. Ronaldo fans, talk to me. the way he stands to do free kick, the way he walks, even in PS3, PS4, right? It is there. The signature move, the signature look, all of that, guys, is called branding. It's called marketing. It's called selling. Are we enjoying this class or not? Yes or not? If you're enjoying this type, I'm enjoying this. Right? What happened? They said it was showing half of my head. Funny enough, it was showing me full here. Okay, but that's good. That's fine. Thank you. I hope you can see my full head now. That's not good. That's not branding. That's anti what I'm teaching. Because I need to sell myself like Ronaldo too. Okay? I need to sell myself like Ronaldo. So sales, ladies and gentlemen, is not what we often call it. It's not just about disturbing people come and buy, putting pressure on anyone. No. Sales, and you can write this down as my own definition. Selling involves promoting or showing the benefit of your product and services to the potential customer, as well as what they will lose if they don't patronize, with a deadline for them to take an action. Come on, are you listening to me now? Selling is offering the benefits. I didn't say the futures, so this is where people miss it. Our next speaker is the sage. I love to call him sage. For me, if you have done 40 years in business, you're a sage, right? You are not normal anymore. Okay, you're a grandfather. So he now, if you look at it, how many of you have ever seen Dr. Cosmos come and say, well, let me tell you the futures in Ford, or futures in BMW, or futures in Rolls-Royce? These are cars he sells, right? But that's not it. Selling is showing the benefits. That, listen, if you ride a Rolls-Royce, it puts you in a class. Are we learning here? If you are, driving this type of car, these are the benefits of that particular type of car. So you are showing the customer the benefits of the product and services you sell. Hear this well. And then you are also giving them a deadline to take an action. This is also where people miss it. So you have told somebody the benefits, but you didn't give them deadline. The last element of good sales is scarcity, right? So rather than, I'll give you an example. We're launching a new estate, right? It has governor's consent. We've already started pre-launch, and I'm going to do video in the next few days on the estate. Now, the estate is, of course, quite large. It's over 20 acres in Ibejuleki. But hear this. I want everybody to hear this. However, I only want to sell 30 plots because the rest of the plots I want to build houses on it are green and smart home. But I want to ask everybody a question, and I need your answer. Right? I need your answer. I want to sell 30 plots, right? Do you know, what do you think will make people buy more? Me just going there and talking about the benefit of the land and just tell them to buy. Or I go there and say, hey, good news. I have this land to sell. I'm only selling to 30 people. Only 30 units left, right? The deadline for the entire thing is also period. Who will sell more? Come on, I need an answer. The person who just came and said, already you know it's 30 you have. But if by not just mentioning it, do you agree? People will in their mind say, well, I'll buy later. They always sell land now. I'll call them back in 2 months. I'll call them back in 5 months. Are we learning here? But by just putting a deadline, what has happened is that you've encouraged people to say, hey, if I don't take quick action, I will lose here. Are we learning here? Again, for learning type, I'm learning. Okay, good. So my first point is to help you understand what sales really is about. My second point, ladies and gentlemen, is to talk to you about some elements of sales. Okay, there are a couple of elements. There are about 7 things you must do when selling. Number one, prospecting. Everybody type prospecting. Prospecting. What is prospecting? Prospecting is the process, okay, of informing people about your product and services to find out if they will be interested. In most cases, these people they were not expecting your call. So if you are doing prospecting via phone, it's called cold calling. How many of you remember cold calling? So if you are doing prospecting via phone, it's called cold calling. You got numbers and you started calling the numbers. They were not expecting your call, right? When it comes to activation, if it's physical, part of it is called activation, right? Where you go and you are talking to people. It's called prospecting. What you are doing there is to figure out, will they buy? Will they be interested? Are they likely? And you shouldn't be emotional about it. If they say no, move to the next person. No, move to the next person. You should expect more no's when you are prospecting, guys. Expect more no's. Number two is called making contacts and qualifying. So now you've prospected, the person showed interest. You should immediately go and say, sir, when can I fix a Zoom meeting, or when can I call you for a longer time? Because sometimes when you are prospecting, they don't have time to attend to you. Are we listening to me now? They don't have enough time to take all the information as at the time you're prospecting. So don't make prospecting the time you want to go into the detail or qualifying them. And what do you mean by qualifying? Qualify whether they can afford what you're selling, right? I've seen situations where people are selling a product. I've said this a lot of time with our marketers. GTEx sells some of our products are a bit expensive. For example, our houses start from 100 million above, right? If you want to buy a house from us, right? Even in Nigeria, talk less of you are buying the US or Dubai. Right? If you're buying Dubai, it ranges from between 300,000 to as high as 56 million. If you're buying in the US, it's moved from, $375,000. If you put it in Naira, it's still, I'm sure, over 100 million, right? Now, imagine I entered a Molue, hear this, and then I just say I'm prospecting, and I say this year, all of you will own a house. What will I hear? What will I hear? Is it not amen? Everybody will say amen. I would true of us. Now hear this. If I go to a golf course in Ikoyi, right, and team of golfers, people, all these rich men playing golf, and we're in the clubhouse in the golf course, I now stand up and announce to all of them, all of you will buy a house this year. What will happen? Will some of them not even ease? True of us. Now, between the Molwe people and the Koi club, who can afford what I'm selling? Talk to me, guys. Who? Right? It's the people who are even easing. This is where many entrepreneurs miss it. We confuse interest for qualification. That somebody showed interest does not mean they qualify to be able to buy what you're selling. They may not qualify. So in the course of the next phase of sales, which is what? Making contact and qualifying. You now want to understand, can this person afford what I'm selling? Number three, okay, uncovering customer needs. So even if you can afford, what exactly does he want? Does he want a house in Bejuleki, or you want a house in Lekki, or you want a house in Banana Island, right? Or even want a house in Ikeja GRA? Or he wants a house in Dubai, or he wants a house in UK, or he wants a house in US. So you have to then know the need of the customer. That is number three. Number four, come on. Are we enjoying this class? I need your energy, everyone. If you're enjoying this, type I'm enjoying it. Number four, making product and service presentation. Now that you've gotten you've asked them several questions, you've gotten to know all their needs and all of that. The next thing is to now say, okay, give me some days, I'll come back, or give me some hours, I'll come back with a presentation of what fits your need. Are we learning here? Or I'll come back with a PDF of what fits your need. And then you come back, give them what fits their needs. And of course, that is number four. Number five, uncovering and handling objection. Now, once you've presented their needs to them, the next thing is they'll be objecting, right? Some of them will say, I'm not sure I want this. How about something cheaper? How about something more expensive? Now, write this down. Always have an answer for likely objection before you make a call. Let me say this again. Always have an answer for likely objections before you make a call. So don't just rush and you're just calling and then you don't have an answer, because you must be ready that, look, at the point of presentation, they will have some objection. So if they say it's too expensive, what would be my answer? If they say it's too cheap, what would be my answer? Right? If they say they need something else, what would be my answer? So have a variety of potential questions. You can use Google Keyword Planner, right? What are the likely objection questions for house? Likely objection question for cars. So have a list of that. Number 6, closing. Everybody type, show me the money. Show me the money. Come on, talk to me. Can we all type, show me the money? At the point of closing, you are not playing anymore, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? At this point, show me the money. This is no longer, this is not the point of trying to explain. At this point, sir, here's the form. Here's the invoice. Are you paying today? Right? Don't tell them when do you want to pay. No. Ask them, are you paying today? Let them be the one to answer, oh, maybe I'll pay next tomorrow. I'll pay in 2 days' time. But go straight, right? Now you need the money. Somebody did this to me and it was crazy. I don't know if you know Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone happened to be one of my real estate mentors. So I went for one of his training in his office in Florida. And he has this university similar to what we have in Stephen Acta University. In fact, I patterned Stephen Acta University after him. And so after the class, they kept talking about this is university. True story. And so after the class, during the break, I then was telling them, oh, I'm interested in the university. I want to sign up. Only for this. Okay, hold on. Let's get somebody in sales. Guys, you will not believe this. When the guy in sales came, just say, hey, how are you? You're Dr. Stephen? I say, yes. He introduced himself. Do you know the next question he asked me? I have never been shocked like that. He said, are you ready to pay now? I'm like, wait, but do you know it worked? I paid. Right? I paid. He just said, are you ready to pay now? And I mean, I knew it would be odd for me to say later, because I was not disturbing them. I need somebody from this department. I want to subscribe for this university. And then the guy came, he introduced himself, asked for my name, and the next question is, are you ready to pay now? I had no choice to just say yes. He brought the form, swiped my card, the rest is history. Some of you now start another long story. Somebody say he wants something. I say, yes, sir. And you see, there are 10 steps to this product. There are 40 steps. What are you wasting time? Are you ready to, when under closing, you are ready to go straight for the kill. We're learning. Come on, if you're learning, type, I'm learning. Okay, number 7, follow up. You must understand that the first sale they made is just the beginning. Many of them, we call it 10 x raised to power 5 potential from every customer. In other words, if the person bought a property or a product of $10,000 from you, it means they can buy $10,000 times $10,000 times $10,000 times $10,000 times $10,000 in 5 places. In some cases, they are the one buying it. In some cases, they are referring their friends, their family, their loved ones. In some cases, their testimony is opening more doors for you. Come on, are we learning here, guys? So you must understand this as regards to sales. Now, are you ready for types of sales? If you're ready for types of sales, type I'm ready. Now, let me pause here before I get to type of sales. How many of you own a business and you think it's not your job to sell as a business owner? Just type 1. If you think it's your job to sell, type 2. Let me say that again. How many of you who are business owners here think it's not your job to sell? Type 1. If you think it's your job to sell, type 2. And I'm talking about people who just, feel, oh, I'll just employ sales manager. I'll just employ this person or that person. Are you aware that every founder, CEO, whatever title you are the ones that can bring the highest number of sales to the company? It's just that their own type of sales is not the sales manager type of sale. Are we together now? They are responsible for B2G and B2B. I'll soon talk about another type of sales. The CEO of the company stand a higher chance of B2B. B2B means business to business. So your business getting more businesses to do business, right? B2G, your business getting people in government. Does that make sense at all? To do business. Are we learning here? So you don't want to carry the culture and say, hey, I'm the CEO now, my marketing manager will do it. No, there are certain transactions that, yes, your marketing manager can do it, right? Your sales rep can do it. But there are certain transactions. You are not the one to close, but your presence is important. Your personality is important. That's why you see a lot of big CEOs. You see them go on CNBC, grant interview. They see grant interview on big magazines, right? Are we learning here? Because what they are doing with that is that they are attracting B2B and B2G, right? Government agency will just message, chairman, I think our department wants to do this business with you people, right? And they will reach out to them. So even as a CEO, I don't care how big your business is, there's still a version of sales you must still do. Are we learning here? So that many of us don't sit here and you are saying, why is Dr. Stephen teaching us sales? I should send my salespeople to him. Let him teach them. No. Remember the title of today's training, sales, the lifeblood of a what? Of a business. Okay? Sales, the lifeblood of a business. And from talking about somebody like me, that in 16 years of running business in Nigeria, I have not taken one single loan from the bank. One, not even car loan, in 16 years. Right? Of course, internationally we take loan, but not in Nigeria. So how have we sustained ourselves? We must sell. Those who work with me, no. We don't sell, we don't spend. Right? We can only spend what we make. Right? We can only spend what we make. So everybody understand that they must do some measure of sales. Okay? Are we ready for types of sales? If you're ready, type I'm ready. Types of sales. If you're ready, type I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. I love a very engaging, interactive class, right? Because when you are doing virtual conferences, people get carried away. Some people are on their phone. Some people are touching this. So if you don't tell them to type, some attention is gone. So that's why you see me always saying, write something, type something. I need your energy here. I need your attention here. And I feed off your energy because I'm not seeing you actually, right? So as you comment, I can feel that you are here. Else one will be wondering, hundreds of people are here. How? Right? Are they really here? Or it's just machine? But when you comment, I know you are here. That's why sometimes I say, what country are you joining from? It gives the feel to the virtual training. So types of sales. Number one, B2B sales. Here, and some of you can create a department in your company, B2B sales is business to business. Business to business. Number two, B2C sales. This is where retail comes in. Business to customer, right? You are selling directly to the end user. Business to business means you are selling to another business. Business to customer, B2C, means you are selling to the end user. Enterprise sales. Enterprise sales, right? In this situation, sometimes the entire industry that you are selling to, right? The entire industry. And this is what happens in China. I don't know if you know that all your iPhone, even though it's an American phone, is made in China. If you know, type I know. If you don't know, type I don't know. The same plants that produce iPhone, sometimes the one producing Techno, is one producing Infinix. If you are aware, type I know. If you don't know, type I don't know. Right? So those manufacturing plants are doing enterprise sales. They are there for the entire. Are you aware that iPhone screen is made by Samsung? Did you notice that every latest Samsung camera is always sharper than that of iPhone? I believe Samsung make sure they don't give the latest technology to Apple. Okay? So that at least they can have the dominance in terms of sharpness of the pictures and quality. So sometimes you are seeing things and you don't know that, it's just the label that you are saying you are buying. It's still the same seller across all chain. Next is SaaS sales. SaaS sales. SaaS sales. Software as a service. That's the meaning. Software as a service sale. In this case, you have this product, you make it something people can pay every month. So Siratia University is like that, it's a SaaS, right? Every month you pay to access the portal, right? Every month it charges you automatically. That's a SaaS. So software as a service is another type of sales. Number 5, direct sales. Direct sales. So direct sales is a situation one-on-one. You are talking to the person and they are doing business with you. The next is referral sales. Referral sales is basically the person who did business with you or the person you know is referring somebody else to you to still do the same business with you. Number 7, social sales. Social sales. All CEOs, you must do this. All CEOs, you must do this. Everybody type social sales because this is where CEOs are missing it. In the day of social media, if you don't do social sales, you're on your own. Now, I want to ask a question. Who can tell me how social sales was done before social media? Can anybody tell me? How do they do social sales before social media? Anybody? By the way, they still do it in Nigeria. Maida Capital says fax. No, Maida's Capital, that's not correct. Television, yes, is one of it. Television is one of it. Billboard is one of it. Newspaper is one of it. Radio is one of it. But the one I'm looking for, you guys have not covered it. Parties, party. Events, thank you. Event is one of the biggest social sales. How many of you noticed Dangote when he was still raising money for his refinery? Almost every Friday and Saturday is in one party or the other. Of course, his own class of party. If you notice, type I notice, right? Okay. If you notice in recent time, he has reduced it. It's no longer a lot of parties because now the refinery is up. He needs to focus on getting to sell, right? And the people who will sell don't show up in party. But when you are raising funds for your business, sometimes you need to go to where high network people are. You meet, you talk. They are, what's the latest about your company? Say, we are doing this project. Oh, we need you to invest. Come on, guys, are we learning? Right? So social sales, as a CEO, you must do that. Number 8, channel sales. Channel sales. Okay? Another word for channel sales could be community sales. A group of cooperative people. A group of, golfers. Okay? Selling to everybody in Koi Club. A particular channel. Inside sales, account-based sales. So here is you are the account manager, right? And your job is to make sure you don't lose that account, right? And this is what banks do often. Let me go and get GTEX Homes account for my bank, right? And that's account-based sales. Inbound sales. Inbound sales, this is more of digital now. This is more of digital marketing. Outbound sales is also involving digital marketing. So in digital marketing, sometimes inbound sales involves sales funnel, and all of that. And then you have the outbound sales. Are we learning? How many of you think this has been so helpful? Come on, talk to me. Okay? Has this been helpful? Has this been helpful? So I think I have 5 minutes more. So I want to see what I can do in my 5 minutes. I have not even gotten to half of my slide, but let me just mention the points. I will not explain. I have 5 minutes more. Next that I want to teach you is understanding your customer. The secret of companies like Amazon is customer-centric. Are you aware that one of the secrets of GTEx Homes, if you're a client of our company, when you are doing birthday, we send you cake. Of course, you have to buy to a level, and it doesn't matter where in the world, right? I've seen people reach out to me in London, say, Dr. Stephen, your company sent me cake last month for my birthday. I was so overwhelmed. Thank you. I didn't even know how they did it, right? But those things is understanding the customers, right? Being very customer-centric. Every customer wants to feel special. They want to be treated special. And if you don't treat them special, right, you will not get the best from them. Approach each customer with the idea of helping him or her solve problem or achieve a goal, not selling a product or service. Are you hearing this? This is by Brian Tracy. Approach each customer with the idea of helping him or her solve a problem or achieve a goal, not selling a product and service. So you see, when I was telling that everybody can sell, it's just the mindset of selling or perception of what sales is that has made us to think we can't sell. No, because how many of us can help people? Come on, talk to me. All of you say you can't sell. Can you help people? Can you help solve their people problem? Can you help them achieve a goal? Come on, I need your answer. Can you help people? If you can do this, then guys, you are already selling. You're a salesman, you're a saleswoman. Next, product knowledge. Product knowledge. Nobody should understand the product better than you. You should understand it deeply. The entire industry, you should get it. You should know how it works, how the industry works. You should know. I mean, the other day, the customers were saying that a car has over 5,000 parts. I never knew that, right? That is an expert here. You must know your product in and out. You must have deep knowledge of your product in and out. Not that you say you're a business owner and say it's my salespeople that will do that. You are the owner of the business. I've always taught salespeople, you are not, okay, selling a product. You are selling yourself. Let me say that again. You are not selling a product. You are selling yourself. People are not buying product. They are buying you. Right? Next, build rapport. Right? Establish rapport. Establish relationship. Right? Build good relationship with the customer. Know that, in the course of your interaction, ask question. When is their birthday? When is their children's this? When is that? When is that? Play with gifts. Right? Once in a while, send them gifts. I've told all my staff, I said, look, if anybody buys a product from you, particularly those who buy high net worth, and even a greeting card you can't send to them in a whole year, that's not good. With the advent of technology, even if it's a video you will do, I say, hello, happy birthday, ma. Thank you for being my client. I'm so happy. I pray God will bless you. Those little things matter. Okay? They matter a lot. Effective communication. You have to master the art of communication. Communication is not monologue, it's dialogue. Let me say this. Until the other party understand what you are trying to say, you've not communicated yet. Please write it down. Quotable quote by me. Until the other party understand what you are trying to say, you have not communicated yet. Let me say it again. Until the other party understand what you're trying to say, you have not communicated yet. Next is negotiation skills. Learn to negotiate. Be flexible. Everything should not be cast in stone, right? Ask questions. Okay, so how can I help you? What can I do to make us close this deal today, sir? Is there anything I can add to this deal that will make this deal to close, right? Be a good negotiator. Last but not the least, I'm rushing, you can see, okay, because of time, is time management, right? Spending all your time over one client and the client eventually does not buy, does not make sense. Manage your time. Know what they want. If they are not ready, move on to the next person. Don't just waste time, idle gist, idle talk, in the name of you are trying to do sales. Bonus point. Who wants bonus point? If you want bonus point, type I want bonus. I want bonus point. Okay? Bonus point. Okay? Continuous learning. That's the bonus point. Continuous learning. I just put in now for a PhD and a master's together. Did you hear what I said? I just put in for a PhD and a master's together as I speak to you. The day you stop learning is the day you start dying. You must constantly learn, invest in knowledge. I couldn't just share my slide because I have a new iPad, Mac system, so it's not showing. But you must master that. Last but not the least, customer relation. Have a good customer care team that can keep following back with the team. And as a CEO, master reward for your team. Now we have 16 cars. Everybody says 16 cars that we're giving our staff. We give one out on Saturday. She's made over 600 million in sales in this year. For the first half of the year, she got a car. Next month, we want to give more. So as a CEO, reward your people, right? When I came back to Nigeria, all our 11 top salespeople for the half of the year, I hosted them for dinner. I gave them a special award. CEOs, are we learning? I gave them just a special award. It wasn't even money. But you see, all of them have posted it. Many of them have started attracting more customers just because they did that. Okay? Last but not the least, guys, I have the Stephen Actel University, and I want to encourage you to be part of it. And then our CEO professional retreats is something you want to attend. So they will put the link up in the chat box. Try and sign up for these two things. They will change your life. Most of what I've taught you now, they are there in the Stephen Actel University, including courses by courses by Robert Kiyosaki, Grant Cardone, even Dr. Cosmos Maduka courses are there, right? It's a monthly subscription platform, right? And subscribe today. There's a discount. Same thing with the retreat we do. The next retreat is in Cameroon. So the last one was in Ghana, right? We even visited Koschari's Ghana during that trip. Okay, the next one is Cameroon. You don't want to miss it. I love you all. How many of you have gotten a great time? Thank you for having me, Mr. Barry. I appreciate your good work. Well done. We can't hear you, Mr. Barry. You need to unmute.
Okay, can you hear me now? Yeah. Round of applause to Dr. Stephen Akitayo, the Africa most influential investment coach. We call him the Odogu of real estate. Thank you very much, sir, for that wonderful exposition on sales. Okay, wonderful. So tell me that, please put on the chat. Say I have learned something great. Let's see on the chat. I have learned something great today. I have learned something great on the chat. Let me see your energy on the chat. Please type. I have learned value. Okay, good. Interesting, good. Wow. That's nice. Thank you, everyone. Okay, so we don't waste further time. We're going straight to the second session by another very powerful speaker. He is no other than Dr. Cosmos Maduka, President, CEO, Koschari's Group. He is an honorary doctorate degree holder from the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, okay, an alumnus of the Harvard Business School, a motivational speaker, and he is also a mentor to upcoming entrepreneurs. So you are in very good hands. Please, let's listen to the profile of our next speaker, and then we welcome Dr. Cosmos Maduka.
Interests in various sectors, including manufacturing, ICT, petrochemicals, and automobile sales and services. Dr. Maduka has served on multiple corporate boards, including a 12-year tenure as a director at Access Bank plc. He also led the Nigerian Table Tennis Federation for 16 years. An accomplished entrepreneur and motivational speaker, he holds an honorary PhD from the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, and has completed executive education at Harvard Business School. In 2012, he was awarded the National Honor of Commander of the Order of the Niger, Sion. With a clapping ovation, welcome Dr. Cosmos Maduka.
Yeah, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure and honor to welcome you this section this afternoon. My friend and precious brother Stephen, Dr. Stephen, have requested that I be with you this afternoon and share with you some of my experience of starting business, the challenges I face to get to where I am. So it's an honor for me to be here to say those few things to you. There is, for those of you who are Christians and who are Bible leaders, if you check the word of God in the book of Isaiah 46, verse 9 to 10, it's a scripture that meant so much to me because of the content of it. That scripture is a scripture that is bless my soul, and it is part of the thing that really get me going as an individual. So you can take your time and read it, what God says about it. So let me leave you gazing about it. But if you want to know the truth about life, the greatest mystery in life is that your destiny was chosen by God, but its fulfillment is decided by you. And people don't like it because many people want, if God choose my destiny, he should take me there. I don't have to do anything again because he choose it. Then how do you overcome? If I put you in one pipe and remove you from the next pipe and call you an overcomer, what did you overcome? God decide your destiny, but the fulfillment of it is a choice you make. And if you want to understand that, it's another story I have that meant so much to me about an elderly man who is like an oracle in his village. People respect him for his intuitive approach in understanding matters and resolving it to people. But one day, two clever young men decided that they are going to make a fool out of this oracle, supposedly well-informed gentleman. And they caught a bird and put the bird behind their hands and then approached the oracle and started giggling. And the oracle was wondering, why are you laughing like your senses are not correct? They said, no, there's something that has bothered us and we came to you to please to, resolve it for us. Oracle said, go ahead. He said, we have behind our hand, we have a bird. And we just want you to help us to explain whether this bird is alive or dead. They already made up their mind. If the oracle tells them that the bird is dead, they will show him a live bird to see he does not have sense. At the same time, they made up their mind. If the man told them the bird is alive, they will squeeze the bird and the bird will die. And they will show him he cannot see. He doesn't really, his vision is not correct. But the two young men were surprised after asking the question and laughing like their sense is not correct. The oracle himself started laughing and told them, I think it's very simple. Your question is not as complicated as you think. But let me tell you, whether that bird is alive or dead is up to you. And they were shocked. What is he trying to say? If you like, kill the bird. If you like, keep it alive. It's totally in your hand. So destiny is not something that is out there that you can never reach or that is completely out of your control. You got to be intentional if you want to be successful. It's not enough to say, I want to be successful. There are many people, I haven't seen any one person who says, I don't want to be successful. Every one of us have desire to be successful. But success comes with a price. It's about how many people that are willing to pay the price of success. Success is not, everybody wants to be business person, but there are laws that control business. How many people are willing to pay the price of being a businessman? You cannot, there are already keys that are provided that you need to look for those keys. When you see a man get to a door, trying to open the door and start speaking in tongues, it's evidence he did not have the correct key. You don't need to speak in tongues to open the door if you have the correct key. You put the key on the door will open and you enter the door. But when you start praying, when you get to the door, the first evidence is that the key you have is a wrong key. Because when I say things like this, people misunderstood me. Are you canceling prayer? People say prayer is the answer. Prayer is one of the key, but not the answer. Because prayer does not cancel principle. If you violate principle, you pay for it. If you do not follow the rule, you pay for it, regardless of your prayer. So let's get to business. Starting up is difficult in everything, just like somebody who is not an artist that decide to run. The correct thing to do is to break your vision to a manageable situation. Because sometimes people aim so high, like we are told, you aim high and fall in the sky. But you can aim so high that you give yourself a challenge that you are not capable of contending, and you can be so discouraged. If you never exercise, don't go out in the morning and come back in the evening jogging, because you will be sick in the next 1 week, and you probably may not do it again in the next 6 months or 1 year. But time yourself and say, I'm going to take 15 minutes walk today. I'm going to do 20 minutes walk next. There's nothing in life that is as good as consistency. Applying is different from practicing. Applying is that you do something once, but you do not continue to do it. The result comes from practicing. And that means being consistent over the things you plan or decide to do. I worked for my uncle for 5.5 years and 6 years. In 1976, my uncle gave me 200 naira. 200 naira is a good money compared to 200 naira of today, because it's almost $400 US. Naira used to be one naira used to be $1.88. So basically, my uncle gave me about $360 US. You can also multiply it by 1,500 naira today. You have an idea what it is in today's money. But very many people have that kind of money today, and they are confused and say that they didn't have anything, there's nothing. Yes, I can also decide that day to go to a restaurant and eat goat head, which is delicacy in my village, and blame God today. Why did he took my father when I was 4 years? Blame everybody in our village, blame every rich man that I ever know or associated with me. Why didn't they support my education to go to school? Because we live in a society of blamers today, where people, the white man blame the black man for his predicament, the black man blame the white man for his predicament. Everybody look for who to blame. You go to school, you didn't score good grade, you say that dumb teacher. The same school where you are calling the teacher a dumb teacher, people are coming out of the same class with distinction. You go to church because you are not willing to live right and tax yourself and hold yourself accountable. You are not up to, when you are rebuked or told the truth, say this is a bunch of hypocrites, you jump out of the church. Why don't you stay? Let them know that there's one honest man that is not a hypocrite among them. But people look for things to blame, to put their predicament upon some other person, like looking for who to transfer the problem. You can transfer that responsibility, but it has not improved your life. It has not made you a better human being. You've not improved your finances. So the earlier you make up your mind to say, I want a change in my life, because nothing is going to change until you decide it's going to change. You are the people that makes the difference. So you need to be intentional to say, I want to succeed. I made up my mind. I'm going to pay the price. So with the 200 naira, it's a small money. Where do I go with it? But I am a realist. My senior brother has started something. Running business is subject to what capital do you have initially? Because what competitive advantage do you have in the industry you want to get in? Do I have the kind of capital that will give me the opportunity to compete with these people? It's good to have a clear goal where you want to be in life. But you can never be there the same day. You need to paint the picture. You create the canvas that you wanted in your life. It's a journey of a voyage. You may not know all the routes that will take you there, but keep your eyes on the big picture, on that main goal where you want to be, and start small. Bible says, do not neglect the beginning of a small thing. I never neglected 200 naira my uncle gave me. Incidentally, I went with my senior brother who told me to leave that and let us go away. And I asked him a simple question. I said, Pius, do you have anyone to give me when we get home? He says no. And I confronted him. I said, so why are you asking me to leave this? I took the 200 naira with courage. Courage is not an absence of fear. It's ability to act in the face of danger. Nobody will believe in you before you believe in yourself. You are the first believer of yourself. That confidence I have made me look my uncle into the eyes. A young man of 15 years. And I said, Uncle, 5 years from today, if you like, you make a note that I say so. If you had who I will become, your head will be spinning. There are things 15 years boys don't say. He shook my uncle. He turned from his seat, look at me and say, well, I know you will succeed. I said, thank you very much. Why did I do that? He acknowledged my affirmation of who I want to be. But it's not just good enough that I said that, but I actually spoke from the depth of my heart about my belief about myself. Because if you are going to be an entrepreneur, your belief to succeed must be greater than your fear to fall. Because there's always fear, unconscious fear in every human being that put people in prison. What happened if I make a mistake? What happened if I did not succeed? What happened if it didn't go the way I planned? And this get people to procrastination, where you keep on saying, well, let me wait, because they are going to laugh at me tomorrow. I hate to be laughed at. When I am sure everything is right, I come out to do it. This procrastination has stopped people today from impacting other people. People like me are people who have shown courage in everything they do in life, including talking to you like this. I stopped in a third grade education, elementary. You need to know what my grammar was 40-something years ago. But I was willing to be laughed at, because the more you laugh at me, the more I improve. To succeed in life, you must be willing to be laughed at. Fear is number one enemy you need to cast out of your life. Let people laugh at you, but have clear determination of where you want to be and where you are going. Take those laughter as a feedback. There are people who have victim mentality. Once you laugh at them, whoa, the world has come to an end. They went back to their shell. Nobody is going to laugh at me again. I had nothing to lose. My mind is that you can say anything you like about me. My prayer for you is that God will keep you alive to see me in another 5 or 10 years from there. So I work with my senior brother. Part of the things you need to do as a startup is to have an ego eye in your capital, in your expenditure. How much do you spend every day in relative to the capital you have? Many people start business with very small capital, but they are not playing by the rule, knowing that you need to record every penny you spend in a day to be able to hold yourself accountable. How much do you spend in a week? How much do you spend in a month? And ask yourself, can this business pay me salary to live with this lifestyle? If it cannot pay you salary to live in that lifestyle, because you must distinct yourself from your business. Your business is a corporation that is different from yourself. So you can now determine this business can succeed with only taking 50,000 out of it or taking 100,000. And then you tell yourself, well, my salary is only 50,000. So I have to manage myself with 50,000 naira salary. And that will determine, do you drink soft drink? Do you take a taxi, or you must wait for a transportation? Are you going to hang around to see if you can get a free ride? An ego eye to expenditure is a key to success in business in future. Because God created a man to be a manager of resources. God took the man he created and put him in the Garden of Eden and said, dress it, cultivate it. The difference between garden and a bush is the order that you keep in there. Resources is not imprinted in supply. It's depletable in nature and can easily be used up. If you understand this principle, it helps you to know what is necessary and what is not. Economics is not these bogus things they teach you in university and make people think their heads swallow. Economics is what we call opportunity cost. What do you think you can forego for the other pressing need you have? It's about ordering and mastering deploying of resources. Recently, a young man that I'm mentoring came to me and told me is going on vacation. I said, where are you going? He said, he's going to South Africa. I said, to do what? He said, just to have some few time come. I said, sit down. I sat him down. I told him, you can't afford to live this kind of lifestyle. For the person I know you to be, you don't have the kind of resources to do this. You are not giving me any good reason why that should be a priority to you. Many people have mismanaged resources. And I told him, I said, people who do things like this, I don't take them serious. If they ask me for loan, I don't give them money. because I've never seen that they understood how to manage money, that there are things that are important better than the other. Nobody should be your model. You are the model of yourself because you have clear goal. You have a sense of purpose. You have a direction where you are going to go. And I was mentoring some young people recently, and one of them said, we have been over-mentored and we have been underfunded. I said, shut up. I said, shut up. Where is the fund going to come from? Who are you expecting to give you the fund? The first ability to show you are an entrepreneur is your skill of management. How do you create capital? How do you build capital? You can start business from first taking a job. You go to your job to learn. You work hard, taking that business like it's your own, giving it everything you have. You may not like your job, but your job provides you a means of livelihood. Manage that money to be able to deploy yourself. As you keep that money and save it because you have plans and goals, then you build it up to a certain level. You should not be embarrassed when people say you are unique. You should not be embarrassed when people say you don't act like other people, because that's truly who you are. You have a goal, you have a sense of direction, and those are your driving force. Because you have plans, you don't want to belong. You are not looking for anybody's endorsement or approval. You've already decided within you that you're a leader, and the leader is the one who provides a direction. So if you grew up with that sense, it captivates and dictates everything you do, even without you opening your mouth. People will begin to say you are unique, but they judge you by their own perspective. That unique for them could be wrong, because you don't chill out with the boys in the evening. You don't, go for every social gathering and things like that. But be patient with yourself, because you are not there to be able to prove anything to anybody. So when you now start that business, you first of all, with the capital you've been able to build, look for business where you see you have a competitive advantage, because you can start a business with 5 million naira or 10 million and you want to get into oil industry. Maybe you are going there to be able to maybe serve people and try to, create friendship that, because network is also a social capital, that all you started to do is to use your 5 million naira to build your social capital, meeting people and knowing them, hoping you can be able to harness those social capital one day to become a real cash. Otherwise, you have no business hanging around those people. One thing I have proved in life is that once you can start something and bring it to tangible position where people can see what you have done from point A to point B, finding resources to take it to point C or D is always very easy, because you are not speaking from intellectual conception. You have something that people can touch and feel. I started selling bread with 5,000 naira. I grew this bread. Now I'm doing 200,000 naira in bread. I want to add milk. I want to add sugar. If I find somebody who will give me another, say, 10 million naira in addition to the first 5 million I have, somebody will listen to you, because the person will say, that same sense you have to take this from here to here, there is a possibility that if I give you this push, you will be here or the other place. So people have wondered, why can I find a young man and maybe give 150 million naira or give $2 million, and there are other people with me that I can't even give 50,000? because I deploy resources where there will be a result on it. I always like to be able to be part of a success. If you show you can be part of success, people are willing to invest in you. People invested in me. It's a magnet. It works. There is a deep in you calling after a deep. And if there's a deep in you calling, there's a deep somewhere to respond to that deep. It's a state of mind, the hunger that you are incubating and about to explode. It will magnet something. The universe will conspire, and that thing that is in your hand. But you know, people have different goals and objections in life. So don't make mistake again. I said that the greatest mystery in life is that your destiny was chosen by God, but the fulfillment is decided by you. If you like, I will repeat it again. Your destiny is chosen by God, but its fulfillment is decided by you. That's a heavy responsibility. And I say it authoritatively and confidently that I've never seen any man or woman that really have desire to succeed that have never succeeded. The other people have wish. Wish is different from a desire. If you have a desire, you have plans. Colin Powell, the 2000 of United States president, said that a wish without a goal without a plan is a wish. Many people have wishful thinking. Something they like should happen, but they have no plan for it. But if you're a young man who wants to be a doctor, once you make decision, I want to be a doctor, there's something in you that will ask you the question, how? How? They don't use mouth to become a doctor. Yoruba people or Igbo people said you cannot use mouth to put fish inside a soup. Oh, le no pot. You can you need money. So you need to work for it. So your business can be deeply challenged. When you start building up, if you are starting like me, the way I stood as one-man organization, I used to be the A to Z of my company, the forwarding and forwarding and backward agent, the managing and managing director, the accountant general, the secretary, the financial, everything I was. But once I start getting capital, some great money where I can pay people, I knew where I wanted to be in life. So I had to hire people. Initially, people who are not going to ask me for arm and leg. If you can do addition very well, you are good accountant and honest, because it's about calculating money and be able to know if you minus this and the other one. But when I took that level, but I had to get to another stage, that's what I'm a very practical person, where you now want to compete in a structured manner, then you need to begin to look for people with certificate, because at that time you build a capital where you will be able to pay them. But you're still not looking for the best in the industry. I didn't start business and get KPMG to hire me a financial controller or get PwC to come and look into what we are doing. But I knew I need them at a certain time in my life, and I have to mature to get to where I need them. So you keep on giving your business what they require at every given time. An entrepreneur will defer his gratification. You are not in a hurry to let people know you have arrived. The wristwatch you have is not what makes you who you are, or the quality of the phone you carry, unless it's a working tool. So you sit on all of those things and walk yourself up to where you want to be. Once you see people who want people to look at this eyeglass, it's very special. You are not, I call entrepreneur. You are just hanging around for as an opportunist and see whether you can get contract. By the way, I really, with utmost due respect, but people who look for contract has no clear stream of income or business, only waiting for opportunity to come. Many of them, you can get one contract, in the next 5 years, you don't get another, and you call yourself a businessman. You have squandered all the other money that you have made from that. You need to have a going concern on a day-to-day basis, something you know you are providing a service and solution to humanity that will be your stream of income. If contract come, it's an eyes on the cake, but it's not what you wait and look for your life for. So just think about all the things I said. I've only spent 31 minutes, but I don't even want to take you through all of this. What I've said is enough to stimulate you to begin to think and ask questions. So I think 20 minutes question and answer is too long because I don't answer my questions yes or no. So I think I will pause now and allow you to ask questions so that I can use it to do more teachings. God bless you.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Dr. Maduka, for this very expository teaching on how to grow your business. Okay, so we'll combine it together now. We will have our respectable chairman, Dr. Stephen Akintayo and Dr. Maduka come together for question and answer session. So please, let's also invite Dr. Stephen.
I'm not hearing you.
And
is this for?
Oh.
Okay, go ahead. I can hear you now.
Okay. So thank you very much, Dr. Maduka. Please let's give a round of applause. Thank you very much for this very wonderful expository teaching on how to grow your business. So we have a Q&A, question and answer session now. I won't mind having Dr. Stephen Akintayo and Dr. Maduka on the question panel. So please, we have on the chat there, we have Q&A. So you can drop your questions there. I will read them as you drop them. So please drop your question there. If you have a question for Dr. Stephen Akintayo, drop it there. If you have a question for Dr. Maduka, please drop it there and I'll read it out and they will answer you one after the other. So it's time for question and answer. So please go to the Q&A box and drop in your question, please. This is just for 20 minutes. The Q&A section and drop in your question. Okay, let's start typing our questions now. Come on, let's start typing now our questions. Go to the Q&A session. There is there, and then type in your question. Okay. So I'm seeing a question here. What advice would you offer me on how I can successfully market and sell a 1.5 billion naira property as a realtor? Okay, I'm sure this question is thrown to Dr. Stephen Akintayo to answer. What advice would you offer me on how I can successfully market and sell a 1.5 billion naira property as a realtor? Okay. While we wait for that answer, let me go to the next question. It said the difference between a bush and a forest. Okay, that's just a quote. All right. Good afternoon, sir. Can you be my mentor? Okay, Dr. Maduka, someone is asking. Mr. Etin is asking if you can be his mentor.
I'm already mentoring him. What he's hearing from me today is part of mentorship, and he can also subscribe to my Instagram account. I've decided once in a month I'll come there to talk to my audience and take their questions and answer them. I can't do individual mentoring. It's not humanly possible, and I am one who is driven by sustainability. It's not something that is sustainable. So regrettably, I do not take individual mentorship.
All right. Thank you very much. So Mr. 18, please go and subscribe to Dr. Maduka mentoring tips from here. And that one says, sir, please, what's the best way to raise more capital to push through tough season for a startup?
I will tell a startup to not just too many things to do. First of all, if you are convinced about what you want to do or what you are doing, don't go to look for capital that come with costs, with interest. Talk to friends, talk to colleagues, talk to family members. The real problem is not capital. It's very unfortunate. 90% of the places I've spoken, I see people playing 90% emphasis on capital. There are many people who have capital that have lost capital. If you don't have knowledge about what you want to do and have capital, you will lose the capital. In business terminology, we say you learn in a hard way. Your school fees is too expensive. Start small, start any business. There's no level you cannot go in business. If you hear that we built a phenomenon that is called cost charis based on 200 naira, that should give you courage that the amount you are starting with is not important. What is important is where do you get to finally in life? You can start small and build up and aim to where you want to go, and you will get there. But you need to understand also that success is a process. It's not an event. Many people want success to be an event, catastrophically, that you take from ground, you become a man-child. No, you go through the process of learning how to stand up. You don't even walk without standing up. In standing up, you fall. God teaches how these things are done with nature. When your feet start standing up, then you start moving, rising and falling, dangling. That business, every business go through it. Then your feet become very firm. Nobody is afraid whether you are going to fall when you start. Then you start walking normal before you start running. But some people want God to make them like a man-child. The only man-child God created was Adam. After that, even Jesus entered into the womb of a woman and was born like every one of us and learned the process of growth. So I don't know how to get rich overnight, how to start business today and become a multi-billionaire tomorrow. I've never practiced it. I've never seen, I hear people, do it. I wish them the best of luck. So I can't teach on it. I don't know the model and how it works, but I've learned to follow nature. And I encourage people that if you follow it, you will be successful.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Maduka. Okay, this question is for Dr. Stephen Akintayo. It's from Obichuku. He says, what advice would you offer me on how I can successfully market and sell a 1.5 billion naira property as a realtor? Dr. Stephen, sir.
Okay, thank you. And by the way, please help me celebrate my mentor, Dr. Cosmos, for coming and sharing. Can we all give him a round of applause? Thank you so much, sir. I would say go to where people who can afford that are, right? Where are they? Such people, I had to learn how to play golf. I wasn't from an elite family, but when they told me that rich people play golf, I had to learn it. And I've met a lot of billionaires at the golf course. Some say go to where they are. Number two, go to events they attend. Now, intentionally, I attend expensive events just to network with high network people. So I'm attending, there's a Harvard event for presidents. It's a 2-year event, $150,000. I'm joining. The goal is not, most of what they teach I already know, but the quality of people who can afford to pay that money. I prepare for my international business. So go for event, courses, trainings where high net worth people are. But start at your level. You can't say now you want to start and then you are starting at my level. No. It could be a training that, it's 50,000 naira. Try and it's not easy. Some of these things are not easy because you can do other things with those money, right? So you start graduate with paid trainings, meet the speaker there. Number 3, which is very important, is do not go with need. Don't go with buy from me, do something for me, solve their problem, right? Know them better, right? Give them gifts. I realize a lot of rich people will first want to know you before they do business with you, right? They can't just trust you and start giving you money. They want to build relationship. They want to at least measure your personality so that they know what they are doing. So again, there are a lot more, but you can study, go for courses around sales and marketing. But I will stop there because of time.
Thank you very much, Dr. Stephen.
If I can come behind you, if you've never sold property before, and it's good to aim to sell 1.5 billion or 10 billion naira property, but it is practical. If you see what your competitive advantage is, and what is your competitive advantage? Your competitive advantage are people you know that can accept you at the level where you are, you can associate. So you start with 50 million, 20 million property, 50 million. As you earn money, then you improve yourself to begin to get to where you associate with people who, there are not many people buy 1.5 billion naira property. There are not many people that buy 10 billion naira property. But are they there? They are there. And you can sell it, they are there. But so you need to start networking and building your network, which is really your net worth. As you build on it, you begin to, develop your social capital, who you know the other person to put this together, But if you start from day one and saying you will do that, that's a good, really mind-blowing idea. But the chances of it is that maybe you are living with a wealthy man that you just mentioned to him that this is out there for sale, and he said, okay, let me talk to you, because it's not, many people at that level cannot interact or talk with you. So it takes process. If you understand it takes process, but you are determined and you are willing to be consistent in the thing you are doing, you can sell a 10 billion naira property easily, effortlessly. That I can assure you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Maduka. That answers your question. Mr. Adebowale was asking, how do I really discover my area of competitive advantage? I'm sure Dr. Maduka has answered that question already. So I will just take one more question before we end the Q&A section. And that's for Dr. Maduka. Someone is asking, Olga, he said, as a founding pastor, can one have a full-time job and pastor effectively?
Absolutely. There's no best way to preach what God inspired to you when you are not financially dependent on anybody. You can speak truth from your heart based on the revelation God gives you. Many of the pastors speak to please the people because they know if he tells them the truth, they will walk out of his church and he doesn't know where the next meal is coming. So sometimes he adjusts his voice and this inspiration to be able to keep that stream of income coming. So your people even respect you when they know you have a stream of income, because some of them also need that money from you. So your convert in your church can even grow, even by knowing you know what to do and you are earning money than depending on them. So you can be a full-time. Actually, at 17, clearly I knew I had a call of God in my life with no ambiguity. But having not gone to school, I didn't have education. With my background and where I am, if I preach gospel, I minister, I go for evangelism. But if I took ministry as a full-time, somebody may think this was just about a meal ticket for me, means of survival and a livelihood. And I knew there were no sawdust in my brain, that if these people think they're intelligent, I am intelligent. I asked God to please allow me to, pursue mastery and come back to this. And that was why at a certain level in my life, I keep on telling my wife, I said, look, honey, I'm getting derailed. My wife said, what are you talking about? I said, I'm not doing what God asked me to do. My wife said, but you build churches for people, you are helping people. Paul said, if you send them. I said, no, what I'm answering is a missed call. So the day I finally took this decision, I didn't tell her. I made up my mind that I'm ranching full-time. Yeah, I'm a full-time minister. and I'm still a businessman. But so if people invite me now to come and speak to different places, quite a number of them, I don't ask them, please send me ticket money. I have to go finance myself, pay my ways, pay my hotel, because I can afford it, because I am led to go. But if I don't have that means, I will not be able to go. So you are at your best if you have a stream of income where God help you to be able to financially be independent. And let me make a strong statement that no man, no woman is totally independent until that person is financially independent. Otherwise, the person that pays you money decide, take certain decisions over your life. And whether you like it or not, you have to submit, or you look for some other means of livelihood. So people have said they are independent, they are not under slavery anymore. But if financially you are not independent, you are not totally independent.
Thank you very much, Dr. Maduka, for that wonderful answers to the question. And Dr. Stephen, thank you very much for the Q&A session. Okay, so we come to the end of the Q&A session for this part of today's program. What we will do now is that we want to go into our breakout sessions. Let us test you and see if you have gotten value and knowledge from the first session by Dr. Stephen Akintayo on sales being the lifeblood of your organization, and the second session by Dr. Maduka on how to grow your business from scratch to the top. Okay, so now we're going into our breakout sessions. We are over 304 in the breakout in the house. So we have 3 breakout sessions. 3 breakout sessions. So when you see the prompt, okay, so please, can we take 2 more questions?
Yeah.
We can also
after 10 minutes.
take 2 more questions before we take our breakout.
I cut my speech down.
Right, thank you.
To take questions. So if there are more questions, we would like to take it. Otherwise, we'll summarize.
Okay, sir. So this question is for you, Dr. Maduka. I said, dear Dr. Cosmos, how can I balance getting personal materials to create a good impression versus letting people know that I have arrived? He says, dear Dr. Personal materials to create a good impression versus letting people know that I have arrived.
How to get people and create a good impression and make them believe you have arrived.
Yes.
Wow. That's a real question. I don't know, because for me, it's like as much as it sounds good, but it depends on the motive behind it, because it could also be being deceptive, because I don't know how you have arrived when you cannot maybe, pay your house bill and give people impression. What I rather like to ask me, how do I exceed people's expectation by sitting on wealth that they do not know that I have? So because it's more important for people to underestimate you. Yes, people overestimating you, give you some false value, make people believe like you are larger than life. That's good. But the reality is that when you have a situation that really put you to test, they will find out this has been big falsehood. It's better that people think you are just very fragile and they can lift you up. And then let 4 of them come to carry you and see your weight will make all of them fall on the ground. Then their respect for you is more. I don't know how to do that, but like I said, it depends on what is motivating you to do that, because you can package yourself where people can maybe think you want something and trust things in your hand. but there's also, it's a little faulty for somebody to do that, because the real truth is that very many people who want to create that impression, there's no better impression but being consistent in what you are doing and doing it well. Where, like, you know, there are people who want to appear in CNN every day. I've never really think that is too important for me, but CNN has come to carry me here and, you know, interviewed me and carry it for 2 weeks on African whatever. I don't know how much it costs some other people to appear there. Folks have come and interviewed me. So if you are doing what you are doing and what you are doing produce results, your news cannot be quenched. People will get to hear about you and will come to ask you questions about what you are doing. I will, on the other hand, ask you again to be sure that your motive about that is right, because I've seen people who do that, but it never give them opportunity to really do something meaningful, but just try to hang around people that are important, but that does not put food on the table for you or make you feel anything more valuable, except about the people you associate with. People you associate with can be your social capital if they respect you. Because I've had a situation where I have financial need. Just somebody that associates with me, that know me, that believe I want something, send me 10 million United States dollar without starting any agreement. That's social capital. I didn't ask him. He asked me, do I have a need? I said yes, and he did that. So it depends what motivates you, but that was never my intention of being friendly with him or anything like that. So be sure again, your motive is right in what you plan to do. But how do you do that? I do not know, because you need money to support your social status, you know, the kind of shoes and all of the things you do. I would rather you focus on how to make money and how to create money, and then you build it up along with your social status. But how could you create impression from people you arrive? 419 people can teach that very well. Wear some very expensive wristwatch, you know, dress up in a very nice suit, and you know, hire a Rolls Royce to go for a meeting. You know, those things can work, but it's not my area of core competence.
Thank you very much, sir, Dr. Cosmos Maduka. All right, another question here for you, sir, is from Uluwa Shayo Ajayi, who says, thank you for this session, Dr. Cosmos. She's asking, or he, do you have a mentorship program for people who want to venture into automobile dealership? Is it a paid mentorship or is it a free mentorship?
It depends on what area of automobile you want to venture into. It varies. We have an academy, a program we started with Lagos State government where we get young graduates and people who drop out of school. We teach them hands-on and online how to repair car and understand the mechanism of internal combustion engine. Ford Motor Company USA support us with it. People are certified. It's a resource pool for us. If you want to start your own, when you are graduated, you say 1.5 year or 2 years program, you can go start something on your own. If you like to work for us, we take you to work for us, and that is one aspect of it. If you like to sell automotive component, then you also ask yourself, do you possess the discipline to learn, to go to a expander, get somebody who you work and learn under his feet for 3-4 years to understand the intricacies about it and the ups and downs of running business, and then he sets you up, depending on what you agree, 4 years, 5 years, and then you set up your own business. So there are different parts of automobile relative business, depending on what you are aspiring to do yourself, and the level of discipline you possess as an individual will determine whether you can be successful in any of them or not. But Like I said, I make myself available. Most of Stephen's program recently, I've been partnering with him to come there to speak. And anybody who want to ask me question, I like to speak less and take real life question. And if you become really serious, that I can have one-on-one to you, and I will talk to you, to be patient and schedule you to when I can be able to do that. But I am really overwhelmed with the demand on my time and life. I am going to be 66 in December, and I'm very conscious of it, that the next 14 years will give me 80 years of my life. So I've decided to dedicate it as a fertilizer to the young generations in trying to inspire and encourage them on how to make it in life. Because truly your future is great and bright if you determine to take it. But it depends totally in your hand what become of your life. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Cosmos Maduka. Okay, the last question for this Q&A is going to Dr. Stephen Akintayo. Dr. Stephen, sir, the question is, what advice will you give to someone that is working and running a side business? Secondly, at what point do you advise a person working to pull out to do his own business?
Sure.
Okay, I believe Dr. Cosmos will add to this, but let me start by advising that, first of all, you must be careful balancing job with self-employment, because if you look at Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki, remember you have E, you have S, you have business, and then you have investments, right? It is people like Dr. Cosmos who now you can call a business owner, because we always deceive ourselves to think once we start a business, we are not a business owner. We are still self-employed, because the business is still largely dependent on your involvement. And what the rule shows is that if you are an employee or you are self-employed, 95% of the people in the world, that's what they do, but they only control 5% of the money in the world. It is when you now grow to be a business owner with structure, you can leverage on other people's money, other people's time. That is when you are now in the category of 5% of people in the world who control 95% of the money in the world. So you want to be careful so that you don't lose out both ways, right? Your job has to fire you because they notice you are not concentrating, and then the business itself has not worked. I've seen people, this is my 16th year and I'm still at it. This is Dr. Cosmos, 40-something years, he's still at it. So business is not as easy as it looks. So be careful with this side also. Let it be something that will not jeopardize your job. Because I tell people, if you are smart, your job will be the capital for your investment and business, right? So my advice sometimes is here, put some of those money you have that you want to be putting aside also, invest in other businesses, buy Tesla shares.
Is it from you?
Okay.
Okay, let me come behind Stephen quickly to say I totally agree.
These investments will bring you enough.
Okay.
And all of these things. So that would be my advice. But whatever side also, if you must do it, must not be such that it also jeopardize your promotion, your current job, if you are sure you still need the job for your sustenance.
Okay, Stephen, let me quickly come behind you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Akintayo, for that.
Let me quickly come behind Stephen. I totally agree with everything he has said. What I do tell people is go to your job. Give it your very, very best, because your job is your training ground for your future. Take that business and run it like it's your own. You have no other life but it. Because you have one life to live. The same way you work for your boss, if truly you believe that is the correct course. Jesus said, who will entrust riches to you if you have not been faithful in another man's vineyard? But when you get home in the evening, instead of WhatsApping mail, making sure you read all of the junk mail you have, that is the time to begin to redeploy yourself. And that is to say, your other means of stream of income, businesses that you need to pay attention. Actually, if I summarize it, your time is your life. Many people have not managed their time well, and that's why they have ended up not working anything. Your time is your life. And the day you were born, you are in a timer. Whether you live 66 or you live 110, when that time reaches, you are gone. Whatever you achieve at that time is what you have achieved. So you must maximize each day for yourself. There's no time to waste in watching dirty movies or things that does not add or count for life or add value. Use those time to, because in your business also, you create social people you meet that you can interact. When you get back home, that's when you do something that is outside of the real means of your life of income. Nobody will fire you if the people know you are adding value in the organization. They need you. Even when you want to go, they will tell you, please sit back, let us negotiate, because they know your worth and value. But how do you withdraw, become your own? As you see those things you are doing on the sideline, generating you relatively the same income or even better than your full-time paid job on a consistent basis, not because you did one deal and something worked out, but on a consistent basis, then you will say, why not I give it my full attention? Even before giving it your full attention, if you are smart, you can get some people who you pay salary to be doing it while you are still keeping your original employment. By the second year, the third year, you see consistently this thing has been delivering to you return that your pay job is not giving you. Then that's the time to throw it in towel in a very respectful manner, that organization will still partner with you even while you are starting your own business.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Stephen Akintayo and Dr. Cosmos Maduka, for this enlightening session on the Q&A. All right, so please let's give them a round of applause. Let's have some energy. Let's have some energy and give them a round of applause for this session on the Q&A. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time, Dr. Stephen and Dr. Cosmos Maduka. Thank you so much. Okay, so now we're going into another part of today's program. It is time now for us to test your understanding. You have received value, immense value from Dr. Stephen Akintayo's session on sales being the lifeblood of your organization. And then another immense value from Dr. Cosmos Maduka's session on how to grow your business from scratch to the top. Now, we are going into our breakout sessions. First, before we go into our breakout sessions, I want to read out the questions for each breakout room. So if you find yourself in a breakout room, you will have 3 breakout rooms. Okay, we have breakout room A, breakout room B, breakout room C. Okay, let me give them a name. Breakout room A is called Great Room. So breakout room A is called Great Room. Breakout room B is called Fantastic Room. And breakout room C is called Marvelous. So breakout room A, Great. Breakout room B, Fantastic. Breakout room C, Marvelous. So anywhere you find yourself in, please just click on that link that will be showing on the screen and join your breakout room. We have only 15 minutes, or that's not too long, 10 minutes. Just because of our time. We have just 10 minutes for our breakout room. So I want to read out the questions first. Breakout room, great. Your question is, what give 7 types of sales? Give the 7 types of sales, and which one is more important to you as a CEO? What are the types of, let's put it this way, what are the types of sales, and which one is more important to you as a CEO? Okay, that's for breakout room, great. Breakout room, fantastic. The question is, what are the 5 secrets of understanding your customer? Breakout room, fantastic. What are the 5 secrets of understanding your customer? And then breakout room, marvelous. Your question is, list and briefly explain 5 secrets on how to grow your business from Dr. Maduka's lecture. List and briefly explain 5 secrets on how to grow your business from Dr. Maduka's lecture. So these are questions. We create the breakout rooms now, and then you can now go into your breakout room session. So shall we have just 10 minutes. 10 minutes from the time you join your breakout room, you will return back to the main class. Please also note, in your breakout room sessions, you have to appoint a leader who will present all your collective answers on behalf of your breakout room. So we have a leader for breakout room great. We have a leader for breakout room fantastic. We have a leader for breakout room marvelous. Okay, so meet up in your breakout room, discuss your questions, but somebody has to present on your behalf. That is very important. So shall we create it now? Breakout room great, breakout room fantastic, and breakout room marvelous. So I will type the questions on the chat again now, so that we can see them. Okay, so there's a little bit of a change here to the program flow. We might be unable to do breakout room sessions now. However, let's make it interactive. Let's spend the next 15 minutes to make it interactive. So I want, if you have a contribution, please signify by raising your hand, and then I will call you. Okay, so I will call you, and then you give me your own contribution. All right, so the first question I want to ask is, I'm going to ask generally now, and I expect you to give me your answers. The first question is, I want you to give me the types of sales and which one is most important to you as a CEO. Okay, yes, so if you have the answers, please just signify by raising your hand. Okay, what are the types of sales and which one is most important to you? They are all important, obviously, but which one is most important to you as a CEO? Yes, anybody? Anyone? Or let's do it on the chat. Let's do it on the chat. Okay, so please tell me. Question chat, what are the types of sales is most important to you as a CEO? So I've dropped the question on the chat. Okay. Okay. Brandy is saying we have 10 types of sales. Okay, so would you want to list them out? Okay, you want to list them out? Oh, okay. So Josephine has already added it here. I'm saying biz to biz, biz to custom, biz to biz, biz to customer, enterprise sales, SaaS, referral sales, social sales, channel sales. And she said all of them are important. Okay. I can see from Tolu, B2C, B2B, referral sales, account sales, social sales. Okay, we have B2B, all right, B2C, enterprise sales, direct sales, referral sales, social sales. All right, I can see someone adding one additional one there. That's from Mr. Harry, Covenant, say community sales. All right, okay, I can see from Ekena, B2B, B2C, enterprise sales, social sales. Okay, it shows that you understood the session by Dr. Stephen Akintayo. All of you are writing the same thing, which means you understood the session. Somebody has even extended it to 12. They are inbound sales, that's digital marketing, outbound sales. Okay, that's fine. As a CEO, most importantly is B2B and B2G, community and enterprise sales. Okay. Another person that's Kubemi, as he's saying, channel sales, aka community sales. Okay, Dagara Ahmed is saying, okay, B2B, all right. Okay, hello, do you have a YouTube channel? Because this program is recorded. Okay, so I'm hearing somebody saying that Sade Oluwa is saying direct sales is more important to you. Mr. Etim is saying social sales. Okay, Mr. Dagara is saying channel sales. Okay, Mr. Nike is saying all 7 are important, but for me, is B2B and social sales. Okay, Brenda is saying all are important. It depends on the level of the business. Okay, success. Emmanuel is saying more of social sales are important. Okay, good. All right, now let's take one more question. Now, this is the last question before we go to the next speaker for today. Now, I want you to please listen to this question. I want you to list, now just list now, list 5 secrets to grow your business from Dr. Maduka's session. 5 secrets. Okay, fine. Thank you very much for sharing that of types of sales. It shows that you really got value from Dr. Stephen Akintayo's session. Good, good, good. Now, the question I'm asking now relates to Dr. Cosmos Maduka. I want you to list 5 secrets to grow your business from Dr. Maduka's session. Okay, let's type now. 5 secrets to grow your business from Dr. Maduka's session. Okay, let's type it on there. Yeah, 5 secrets to grow your business from Dr. Maduka's session. Okay, so I'm waiting to see on the chat. On the chat, yeah, waiting to see on the chat. 5 secrets to grow your business from Dr. Maduka's session. Okay, Olga is saying start with what you have, and then get capital from friends and relations. Okay, Mabel is saying be consistent, consistency. Olalekon is saying uncover your customers' needs. Bukola Lukon is saying patience, principles, vision, mentor, delay gratification, consistency. Okay, Martha says start small and grow. Tolu is saying consistency, having clear goals. Olalekon is saying collect your money. Okay, that is call to action, sharp, sharp. Martha is saying you must sell, you must be willing to sell to laugh at. I can't get that one. Okay. Kosi says start small and grow big. Lillian is saying be intentional. Keep your eyes on the big picture. Look for problems to solve. Etim is saying Okay, I've lost that. Prayer is the key. Consistency. Okay, Peter is saying, do not aim to blow, aim to grow. I love that. From Peter. Do not aim to grow, aim to blow. Okay. Okay. Mark Idoko is saying, be persistent. Oluwafemi is saying, Titilai, okay, you should have an eye, an eagle eye in your capital expenditures. That's a good one. Maybe I saying, have an eagle eye. Okay. Must be intentional. Gladys is saying, no one is really independent until you are financially okay. You are your own model. Okay, success. Emmanuel is saying, create a picture on beautiful, beautiful. All right, thank you very much. I appreciate your responses to the question. It shows that you all have really gotten for this first day of the global. Fine. Thank you very much for your responses. We still have at least an hour or more to go before we call it off for today. So now we are going to the next session. Okay. And that session now is looking at okay, that will be anchored by Queenette. So Miss Queenette, are you available now to take this anchor? Okay. Miss Queenette, thank you. Let's welcome Miss Queenette. Thank you. Miss Queenette is our general manager for GTS Labs. Thank you, Miss Queenette. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Barry. Thank you so much. Some questions also. This has been, or this is the best event so far. So for anybody that's not here, you should get them here. So I'll be taking up the mentee session. It's going to be an interview session on my startup story. Dr. Joel, are you here?
Oh yes, I'm here.
Oh, okay, thank you so much, sir. I'll call you shortly. So I'd like to add one or two to some things. Thank you so much, Martha. Thank you. You know, we have heard a lot about people who started from scratch. You know, sometimes some people will say, you want to do business, some of these billionaires, they will not tell you what you need to know. They'll tell you the times they had their challenges. So we at GTEx, we're not like that. What we do here is we tell you every single thing. We walk you through the path. This interview session, I want everyone to take it seriously. It's titled my mentee, my startup story, actually, and it's going to be, I'll be calling Dr. Joel, who is a mentee of Dr. Stephen. He's going to tell you a lot, not just a lot. He's telling you from scratch. Take it seriously. If you have your pen and paper, start writing down things right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome Dr. Joel for this particular session. Dr. Joel, I'm clapping my hands for you already. Welcome, Dr. Joel. Welcome. Oh, you look good. You look so good, sir. I can't hear you. You're muted.
Thank you so very much for having me on this platform. And I want to start by sincerely appreciate Dr. Stephen Akintayo, who I can say that God has brought me his way. The most difficult place to do business for now we all know that is our dear country. But having said that, I can tell you for a truth that it's difficult to do business in Nigeria, but Nigeria still remains the most easiest place to do business. It's such a contradiction.
Okay. Dr. Jewel.
Yes, please, can you hear me?
Hello, sir, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Yes, I'm hearing you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sir. Can you hear me? Okay. So this session is going to be more like an interview session. I'll ask you some questions and then you give
That's
responses.
Okay.
So I just wanted you to, introduce yourself briefly.
Okay, because I can hear you. Yeah,
yes.
I can hear you clearly now.
Introduce yourself briefly for 2 minutes. Introduce yourself and then tell us what inspired you to start your business. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, can you still hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you.
Hear you
So
clearly.
my name is Dr. Joel Giladiadeshoko, and I'm one of the privileged mentees of Dr. Stephen Akintayo, and I came across him it's been about months now, but the impact that he has on my business has transcends, like it looks like I've known him for decades. And then I'm into a couple of businesses, and my business interests ranges from higher education to legitimate migration to real estate to hospitality and retails, a couple of them like that. So it's really nice to be on this platform. And I want to say a very big thank you to Dr. Stephen for giving me this opportunity and the platform to share my thoughts and my stories. Thank you.
Okay, sir, thank you so much for that. So I'll try to put the questions together so we can be as brief as possible. So from what you have just said, it's very obvious you have several businesses. For the purpose of this training, would look more on the real estate part, and then maybe you can add 1 or 2 to it. So like I earlier said, can you tell us what inspired you to start up this business? We're going towards the real estate part of it, and what problems does your startup solve? Like Dr. Stephen would always say, before you start up anything,
allow him to start from the beginning. I don't think we should restrict him to real estate because real estate is the newest so let him start from the beginning.
All right, sir. All right, okay. That's noted. So Dr. Jewel, what inspired you to start your company? And what problem does your startup solve? So as I was saying, Dr. Stephen will always say that before you come up with ideas or you create your vision of what you want to do, whatever company you want to start should solve something. It should be a solution to a problem. And that's how you know you are giving out value in the society. So what inspired you to start? And what problem does your startup or your company, what does it solve?
Thank you so very much. And I thank you, Dr. Stephen, for allowing me to put it in the best way that I've prepared for. One of those things that truly motivated me to start business is I love solving problems. And fortunately, in this part of the world, there are so many of them. And in the course of solving those problems, I find out that most of those things that we prayed for, most of those things that we desire, they come alongside it. So all I do is just to start identifying and start seeing those problems around us and we'll start putting them together. My journey started specifically when I was looking for university admission far back in 2006. I discovered that there is a huge gap in the access to higher education in Nigeria. As far back as then, there are about 1,800 candidates that will write the popular JAMB. every year. And then you find out that the total university in Nigeria, their current capacity is about 600. So what that means is that every year, year in, year out, there are an average of about 1.2 million candidates who will not be able to get access to higher education. Somebody like me, since 2002, I remember I waited 5 years and got into uni in 2007. This is a story, bad story, a story that we're not proud of. And that is what is still happening till today. I'm sure that in this year alone, I know there are about 1,040 candidates that still wrote that exam. And Jabi said that only 20% of them will be able to get into uni. So this is a problem. I saw it, I was able to identify it, and then we started putting people together. Now, getting started, a lot of people will run and say that, yes, funding is key. But I've learned from my own journey that the more I try to look away from my limitation, then the better it is for me. I saw what I wanted to do. I don't have the right funding to do it. But I asked myself, what can I do? What is it that I have that can get me what I didn't have? What is it that I have within my capacity? What is it that I can, what are the values around me? Then that was where I started what I call home lesson. It's a popular thing. Nobody cares about it. Nobody really see anything serious about it. But I can tell you it's a gold mine. Started entering one house to another back then in Kwara State in Ilorin. Did home lesson for about 3 to 4 years. And I built that business to a point at which we have close to 250 clients paying about 10,000 naira each that year. So with that, I was able to rally around the kind of funding that I need for my business. Those kind of things, there are so many of things like that around us that would not need money to start. All that it needs is you, your skill, you have what it takes. You have not just think deep about it. So jumping at people for funding at startup is rampant, is everywhere. And people have collected this money and they didn't utilize it well. So nobody wants to throw his money around. You will have an idea for a business, you'll be so convinced about it, you want to tell the world that no, I know this thing. It's not as it is. It's not the way it's not always the way it is on paper. By the time you get to the field, it's not the way you think it will go. So what happened to people that have trusted you with money? So sometimes it's even safer for you to pull around values around you, things around you for you to get what you want. So that home lesson, as I did in 2006, 2007, was what served as a basis for me, because we're able to expand to different regions in Ilorin. We have supervisors, they move around, they coordinate, and the thing grew larger from my only person. It grew larger. So we have networks. We have about 60 staff as at then 2028. So when there's a will, then there will be a way. We must have that conviction. My grand mentor also said it, that our determination, he said it earlier today, that determination, our passion to what we want is what will take us. So that's where we built all those things that we are able to use to kickstart Into University. So Into University is just designed to bridge that gap that we have in university education that is still existing today. So we've been able to come up with brilliant programs. We invite them, we mentor them, we counsel them. Not everyone can be a medical doctor. Don't go and start wasting 6 years. We are not discouraging being a career person, but we ensure that we guide university admission seeker in a way that they can be lucky among the little ones, little slots, little openings that they have for them in those universities. So that was the home lesson is where we raised the fund to move to Into University. So we're able to have a school that it's like a post-secondary education where we train them for what to expect in the university. And then from there, we start having access to universities. We have partners in the university. I'm talking about university in Nigeria. So we worked with about 16 universities as at then. So when the numbers are growing, then international investors start observing us. So if you are still a small business owner now, don't look down on what, learn how to count your blessings. Don't let the big fishes that you are seeing every day on social media distract you or carry you or get you carried away from the little that you are building. What you are building is also significant. Appreciate those little milestones. So they reached out to us that, oh, can you start sending students to us? And we said, with all pleasure. We have all of them already. We have been able to convince parents, so parents, as they trust us, they ask us questions, they put students in our custody. So that's where we started. We started sending students outside the country. In 2018, they reached out to us. Then we sent students there, they compensate us. So from there, we started getting little, we now start attracting more funding to fund bigger businesses. Those people that we trained, then the value that we render them, most of those students, even as far back as home lesson, they are now campuses of industry. I know some of them are bankers, and there was a particular one that is now an honorable commissioner in Kwara State, Ilorin, and I'm so proud of her. So all these people were able to leverage on them. We moved on to our businesses. It was that into university, it's like a preschool. Then we had the vision that into university will also become a full-fledged university. From there, we start into migration. Into migration is now the part of our business that handles legitimate relocations for family. They move from Nigeria to Canada to Europe to anywhere. And I must tell you, as a business person, that business is the most challenging that we had, most challenging, because it's a business that is very porous. There's free entry, there's free exit. So people come into the business, mess it up, and then they run. So when people are meeting you for the first time, they are coming with that same impression of what and how they've been treated from the previous people they encountered. So it's the most challenging of our businesses, but I can assure you that for us, that integrity that we used to build over the years, we discover that it pays better. I know Dr. Stephen used to teach us that trust, that integrity, that it pays better. That is the highest form of currency. That is what then. That integrity is the highest form of currency. And that is part of what really helped us in that business. So that business is at each of the stages. I'm telling you that we're using every step of the way to build more revenue. We use that we rely much on our cash flow at each of those level of businesses to build on the subsequent ones. So after into migration, we will start seeing that people will start bringing stuff to you. People will start introducing stuff to you. They'll probably increase your portfolio, opportunities to start coming. And then we have a laundromat. From there, we acquired one of the first and the biggest laundromats in Kwara State, in Ilorin. All these things too, they have a way of helping us in building revenue. So the revenue, the funding that I was crying about several years ago that I don't have, I discovered that the little that we are doing, being accountable for it, building on it, is making provisions for the subsequent visions that we are building. So it was from that into migration that we run till I got an appointment as a registrar of a university in Nigeria. That's Atuba University, Oyo. The lessons, the street sense that we have learned over that years was the same that we brought into that university in 2020. I met it almost at the brink of collapse, and then before, in the space of 2 years that I was there, we were able to turn around everything. They were amazed, like a one-man battalion, that was during COVID. We were able to set up online classes, innovations, bring in innovations, and that has always been my lifelong, my motto. I'm always open to lifelong learning. I don't like problems. I don't like challenges. I don't like to hear them. I'll start thinking, this thing is not supposed to be like this. Why is it like this? I like asking questions. And all these things are what helps to, make differences in anything that we do. So 2020, 2022, we're able to do a lot in Atiba, and that gave me and my business additional feasibility. So most of the challenges that we see, sincerely, they are not existing. They are not existing. The more that we try to put more value to what we do or to ourselves or to our brand, the more we start getting more exposed to better opportunities. And then from that, our businesses, all of them, will start bringing them into a group. We'll call them into a group. Then Into Migration helped us so much to leverage on our sales, our cash flow start getting more interesting. And in the course of my thirst for knowledge, for information, God brought me across Dr. Stephen. I attended one of his masterclass in Abuja, and I've been following him. I've been following him. I watch his videos. I see the way he motivates young people. I see his passion. I see the way he talks from his heart. I've bought almost all his books, and I discovered that the same way he talks is the same way those books are. So when I read them, I assume that Dr. Stephen is sitting in my front and he's talking to me, and that really, really works for me. So from there, he started holding me by the hands, and we have a project that we're doing, and it involves heavy funding, as usual. They said men are in sizes. How they quote that I don't really remember at the moment, but I know that men are in sizes. So challenges differ. So when I run to him, told him this is the challenges, he offered a simple solution that really, really helped us to shape our real estate business. So you'll find out that it's one thing that I try to build one business, establish it before I move to another, because I discovered that is really, thank you very much. Life is in phases and men are in sizes. Thank you so very much for that. Life is in phases, men are in sizes. So when I ensure that I build one, I try to make it stable, get people on board. I have staff that are working with me for more than 7 years. It's not that they can't dream well. It's not that. It's about living a life that motivates them. They are finding fulfillment in what they do, and they are also growing. Not that they are working for you and they are redundant and they are stagnant. So the moment I leverage on one, I build it, I hand it over, I move to another one, I move to another one, I move to another one, I move to another one. So at each of those stages, I don't really see funding as a big problem, because I ensure that I take those leaps one step after the other. But there was a particular project that is bigger, that is in the tunnel, that I ran to my mentor for, that, sir, this and this and this and this. And he provided a simple solution. Do this. When you do this, you'll be surprised that what you need will come. And that's all also centers around my philosophy. That is what you have that you can use to get what you want. Look inward more, so that you can begin to leverage on what you have already. So Into Real Estate started, and now by the grace of God, through the help of Dr. Stephen Akintayo, we now have our own estate that we are selling. And this happened less than a year. It's less than a year. And we're so happy that Dr. is so down to heart to speak to me anytime in the midnight, in the night, anytime that I run to him, he's always ready to. But and I think one of the major problems that we young people normally have is that we see mentors as those that should carry our burdens. They will not. Because when I started working with him, I discovered that the previous quote that I said, life is in phases and men are in sizes, is that even they, our mentors, they have bigger challenges. They have bigger things. They have bigger projects that also give them sleepless nights. So when we are approaching them, it should be from that perspective, and not that they should come and carry our home body and take it off completely. we have the work to do also. Side by side, into real estate, we also have an IT firm. When I discovered that everything is now, if you're into business and you are not tech savvy, you don't have any, you have not started being technology compliant, I think you're not doing yourself a favor. So we gathered our team, we call them Into Tech team, and they've been able to do, we're on our second project as we speak. Just about yesterday, God gave us another project successfully approved on building tech solutions to entrepreneurs, because I walk through the ladder, I saw the challenges, and I write them down, even if I'm not ready to act on them now. Any challenge I face at any moment, I try to pencil them down so that when time comes, I revisit them, we'll see how I can turn them into money. And that's exactly what we are doing, and we are still doing. So that led us to also Future Wave Technologies that we have been on our second project now. Without taking much of our time again, I want to say and conclude that in all my journey, there is something that I've discovered. We cannot cheat on the growth process. We cannot cheat on the growth process. A lot of young entrepreneurs like us today, they are always in a hurry. They don't want to be, they don't want to, they want to jump the ladder. They want to go viral. But the real people build in silence. Anything that is grown, anything that grow up can't just come down. It grows up. Even if there's a challenge, just say step back, one step back. When they overcome it, they proceed again. But a lot of people, they abuse the concept of growth. They allow themselves to get drawn in the challenges. When they talk about Nigeria, it's always the negative side of it. They don't see anything good in Nigeria. But each time I go to the bank and I enter the bulk room, I see money. I said to myself, this fund is going from one person's account to another person's account. Not talk about the electronic transfers that are causing trillions, that are causing billions every time. These are wealth transfers. All that you need to do is to sit down and say, you can position yourself, perfectly to allow the flow. The water that carries pipe can never be dry. If you are the medium that carries the content, you can't be dry. So it's very important that young entrepreneurs, they are able to absorb the concept of growth. When we have challenges, let us go through those challenges with the whole of our heart, learning all the lessons. God is bringing those challenges so that we can learn those lessons. So it's very important that we are patient with ourselves, we are patient with our vision, we are consistent. My grand mentor has mentioned consistency severally in today's, when he was talking to us. So consistency, we should not be discouraged and learn how to appreciate your little wins. So into group altogether now, at least we have close to 100 staff across all our subsidiaries. There are about 8 of them as of today. And then with the help of doctor, we are getting better every day. I want to thank you so very much for listening. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. You can imagine, I was even writing down some things. In fact, you almost answered every single question I wanted to ask now. And I'm very sure our viewers are interested in asking questions. So everyone, as he'll be taking the next question, I want you all to jot down your questions immediately on the Q&A. And we're going to, by the grace of God, we'll take down those questions before we move to the panel section. So you spoke about moving from one business to started with which lesson and it helped others and have ideas started with that to fund those other ideas or the other startups, because I was thinking this.
You're breaking, sorry. You're breaking. Yeah, it's breaking.
Okay,
so
can
I
you hear
couldn't hear you
me now?
well. Yes, it's better now.
Okay. So you mentioned something about starting with the lesson, and the whole idea was to solve and then
Why
you
the
had
only
to fund
It's
other
breaking.
businesses. So
Yeah.
The network is
Yes, the
stable.
network is breaking. Yeah.
Mr. Barry, can you hear me?
Okay, now it's better now.
I'm so sorry about that. Nigerian network. So I'll try to make it.
Mr. Barry, if you have the questions, why not just ask him directly? Obviously, our internet is bad. Please,
Yes,
can you at the backup?
While Ms. Quinette tries to so thank you very much, Dr. Joel, for the expository notes given. I also enjoyed and took some lessons from there as well. The key point, the key lesson is consistency. It has run across all speakers for today. To grow your business, in spite of the challenges, you still have to maintain a very high level of consistency in what you do. Okay, so we have a panel session now, and we're going to have a panel of discussants so that we can have a more robust session. So, Ms. Quinette, welcome back. Thank you.
Yes, I'm so sorry about that, everyone. Sorry about that. Okay, so Dr. Joel, I was asking, I said, I'm very sure people might be wondering, you mentioned something about starting with the lessons, and from 10,000 naira, you were able to raise a lot of funds and all. And then you said something about moving from one business to the other. So when you had gotten to a certain level, you passed it on and you were able to move to the next. So what was the vision around this? Is it that you had a bigger play, that's a bigger thing, and you just needed that to fund that other one, or is that you just had several ideas and you wanted to make it work? Because people might be assuming that is it that I should have different things to do in order for me to get to where you are, or all I just need to do is get something to fund what I need to do. Did you get that?
Yes. So if I get your question right, you're worried about what is my motivation for starting up those multiple businesses, and then okay. So now, number one, I really hate poverty. Let me make that clear, and I'm not apologetic about it. Yes, I've seen that there's so much problem in Africa that needs to be solved. And so this problem can never be solved by mouth, by words of mouth. It can never be solved only by prayer, to say that I'm a believer. I don't talk less on prayers. But I notice, as my mentor will always say, that those people that industrialized America today, they took the bull by the horn. They ensure that they have the financial capacity to turn things around. And when you look at this part of the world where we are, people like that are few. So the vision here is that at the end, in the next few years, when they'll be talking about revolution that occurs in Africa, my name must be there. And to achieve this, it's not a feat that 100 million can take care of. So there needs to be there needs to be a very strong financial backing to be able to achieve that. So I'm following the step of my fathers, my mentors on this. So that's the driving force. That is the driving force. And I know that we're going to get there.
Yes, we will. I love that. you have even identified the idea of mentorship. A lot of people go into this and they have the billions and billions they want to achieve, and they don't have the right mentorship. They don't follow through the guidelines of people who are there. And with all of this, it can even help people for unforeseen situations and all. And that will lead to the next question. What are the challenges you face having all of these businesses, like how you started and all? What were those challenges? And also, what are the mistakes you made in doing this? Because I might just be thinking, I could start with lesson, I could start with this, I could start with that, and I will make it, and I will just do everything. But I also need to know the obstacles I would face. So what were those challenges you faced running these businesses and the mistakes too you made?
Thank you so very much. Now, my view on mentorship, okay, is that it was when I came across Dr. Stephen Akitayo that I truly understand what mentorship means. The mistakes that they have made that costed them billions of naira, that costed them so much in time, in one word, you can avoid them if we are truly ready to learn. In the few years ago, we lacked mentorship. Few years ago, thank God for Dr. Stephen, who is coming out now to really call for mentorship. We lack mentorship. People don't want to talk. People don't want to share secrets. People don't want to tell you how they got to where they got to. They just want to show you their success. When you ask them for the story behind it, they shy away from it. So my own view on mentorship is that young business people should always give it everything that it takes to get the right mentor on any of their businesses. Dr. Stephen said something that was profound. He said up to now, he's still enrolled for a program that cost him as much as $150,000. And I'm like, wow. So young people in business, I said it earlier during my presentation that we need to learn how to access mentorship. We need to learn how to access the lessons from our mentors. If not, we'll just be toiling and toiling and toiling and toiling and toiling. Whereas one word from them, a caution from them, can save us a lot of time and a lot of money. So mentorship is key. For anyone that truly wants to grow their business, you need to find people who have gone ahead of you in that field, who have told that same path before. When you reach out to them, you find out that whatever they tells you, if you don't understand it, don't worry. You will understand it by and by. If they tell you to do something, just do it. Just do it. Just do it. So that's my view on mentorship. Find the right mentor and learn how to pick all the lessons from there. Now, in terms of challenges, I have lots of challenges as a businessman. I was so quick to jump at it when we started my session. That's the first thing I said. Because if Dangote can come on a live TV and say to you that when we get to heaven and they are picking people and they say, who are you? And you said you're a businessman. And they ask you that from where? You said you are from Nigeria. That even the angel will tell you that you shouldn't suffer twice. Just go straight to heaven. I was weak. That to tell me that, you see, the challenges that business people go through in Nigeria today, it's overburdened. For me personally, when it comes to human resource, it's a big problem. You'll find out that people are not ready to go through the ladders. People are not ready, they are no longer ready to learn. They are no longer ready to be submissive. People are no longer, when you are showing them what it takes. In fact, they even want to compete with you. They want to compete. They want to wear the same clothes that their mentors are wearing. They want to use the same phone that their mentors are using. It's heart aching. So one of the greatest challenge is human resources. People only profess loyalty. They don't do it. They profess loyalty. They don't act accordingly. They just see every opportunity and they want to pounce on it. So it's heart aching that we are saying that we want to build this country, we want to build this continent. And I begin to ask myself, even if we do and we build this continent, who are the people that we're going to hand over this to? So one of the major challenges is for you to set up a system and be rest assured that when you hand over that system onto another person, they will run it the way with the fear of God, without calls like, sorry, my auntie said I should come to Lagos. Sorry, I need to relocate to UK. Sorry. And just be wondering that, are you not seeing the vision? Are you not seeing where we are going? Are you not seeing what I'm seeing? They are not seeing it. They are not seeing it. So that's a major challenge. Because if people buy in our visions, they see what passion that we're driving, they see the growth that we've experienced. I think it's a good thing that you have a platform to learn. It's a good thing for you to have a place where you can walk to learn. And I think I must say this because when we are having the poll in the morning, I discovered that 27% of our audience are employees in one place or the other. You see, when you are privileged to work for someone, it doesn't make you a slave. It's an opportunity to add value to yourself. So a lot of employees sees that the work they do is just for the money, and it should go beyond that. You can be an employee and still be successful. Go and ask the MD of Transcorp. I've forgotten her full name, but I know as Madam Olushola. You can be an employee and you are still fulfilled. You can be an employee and you can own business, you can own properties. I know that companies like GTX has provisions for you as their staff. When you bring business, you have commission. Recently, they gave their staff cars. What are you? Can we just calm down? Can we just calm down? Can we calm down and do the right thing and stop jumping everywhere, thinking that things somewhere is better, somewhere is better, somewhere is better. So that's one of the major problems, and I'm still advocating. One of the projects that we are working on recently is going to be an institution that will be training people. We have serious issues. We have serious deficiency. Having the right people on the right thing. Then you ask my mistake. I've made a couple of mistakes. And one of the major ones has been that thinking that my business cannot survive without me. No. Thank God for the impartation of Dr. Stephen. It took an impartation. I've read books on structuring business. I will say, hey, structure business. You structure business, you will give it to someone. All the labors that you have done over the years, they will scatter it. You start all over again. I never believed that it's possible for me to travel or not being reachable for a while and my business will still continue. It was very, very hard for me. And I've been making that mistakes over the years. At the time I met George Omoraro, who said to me, Joel, you are sitting on a wrong seat in your company. I don't understand it. He said, you are sitting on the wrong seat. That was his word. He said, I haven't looked at your business and everything. You are sitting on the wrong seat. You need to stand up from that seat so that you can see from a wider perspective. You can take hold of your business. But I keep saying that if I stand up from this chair, I hope things will not spoil. But when Dr. Stephen imparted me, it takes impartation. And I'm grateful that I obeyed. I am really, really grateful that I listened to him. It was tough for me, but I'm grateful that I listened to him. So it was when I listened to him and I implemented everything. If he told me to sign, he told me to draft my resignation letter. That's why I said that it took impartation. Dr. Stephen requested that draft a resignation letter, draft and sign it. And I did, and I sent to him, sir, I have now resigned. So now I'm seeing my business from an outsider perspective. And let me tell you the shocking thing. I now see more. I'm now better. I'm better. I see my business more than when I was inside it. When I was inside it, I was lost inside it. When I step outside of it, I can see it from an holistic view. See the problem, solve them. See the problem, solve them. See the problem, solve them. And it's now more interesting that I now have time to face other businesses, to develop the other businesses, to network better. And it has been very, 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 very amazing. And I think I've been able to touch on these two things that you had. So thank you.
Wow, what a wonderful session, sir. That was inspiring. Like I was really writing down things. Thank you so much for that. It was insightful. In fact, some of the questions people had there, you have even answered them. Some persons had to write that you have responded to their question. Thank you for that, Dr. Joe. And I believe, just like you said, with the right mentorship, you can achieve anything. So thank you so much for that, Dr. Joe. So we'll move now to our panel session, which is on legal challenges founders should look out for. And guess what, guys? We have our own people, familiar faces, people we deal with. You know, GTEx is not just by mouth, it's not audio. We have also seen our own challenges, just like Dr. Jewel said. We had the right mentorship, even as a subsidiary and as a company. And we have people, men of caliber, timber, and plywood, people who have done it for us, who have actually given us the right directions. And we'll be having them now to take this next session. Thank you so much, Dr. Joe. The media team, please, you can remove him from, yes, pinning. You can remove him from the pinning. So let me call on the next speakers, the people we'll be having now. We have Barrister Elitayo himself. Remember, I said the people we're calling, these are people of timber and caliber. The people who have made not just this company, but have made other companies better. They have given the best advices of the best advices. Barrister Elitayo, thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate you for being here. And we have others, we have, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you. I was going to just quickly say thanks for having me. It's a privilege to be here, and I look forward to an exciting moment helping entrepreneurs on the call, and I'm sure that it's something they will really, really be thrilled about.
Yes, thank you so much. Really appreciate you here. So I'll just move further to your questions for the sake of time. Would not like to take much of your time, but I also like to welcome others if they are here. So once I ask you the next question, I can move on to others. So we can wrap up for today. We have Barrister Elitayo, he just introduced himself, and we have Barrister Femi Akinyemi. I believe he's here. Barrister Femi Akinyemi, thank you for coming. We have Barrister Moshood Abiola. Barrister Moshood Abiola, thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate this. This is a strong team GTEx has put in place to make sure that every of our legal issues are being handled correctly. So I'll move on to the first question now. Okay, so the first one is, Barrister Elitayo, I'll send this question to you. That's for business formation and structures. What are the key legal considerations when choosing a business structure? Sorry, before you answer this, please don't forget, drop your questions, because I would even be asking some of these questions based on what you want to know. And don't forget, this is the opportunity you're waiting for. For those of you asking, I want to start up this business, I want to do this, this is the right time for you to ask everything you need to ask concerning the legal aspect of your business. So, sir, what are the key legal considerations when choosing a business structure?
Okay, thanks for the question. I love stories a lot, and I'll just love to start by sharing something that I think has bedeviled a lot of African entrepreneurs. So when thinking of starting business, it's like thinking of starting a journey. And one thing I've seen over the years is entrepreneurs not having a reason for what they are doing. I remember some years back, I went for a property inspection somewhere, and then I saw a building which was already tilted to a side. Obviously, was a foundational problem. And I saw the banner out there for rent, but from what I had noticed, I was quite worried that who is going to be staying in this property that is already bent to one side. And then I spoke with the agent, and the agent told me, well, unfortunately, Lagos as it is, people will still go there. But the point I'm bringing out is the fact that jumping into a business without really considering all of these factors, this is what many entrepreneurs end up building. They end up building structure that is tilted to a side, and then they find themselves doing remedial work, repair works, when they're supposed to be focusing on scoring goals and building and thriving. Having said that, there are a number of things that I would always recommend for entrepreneurs to make sure that they do in terms of thinking of the best structure for them. Number one is you really want to understand the industry where you have. What are the legal requirements for you to be a player in the industry? The legal requirements is not the same as what do you need to do to be a big player. Being a big player is different from being a player. So in essence, if all you just need is to register a company with minimum share capital, you don't need to say I'm registering a company that has 100 million share capital. And share capital, by the way, has to do with we will not be getting into that conversation, I believe, but I know it has to do with the the share valuation of the company. So for instance, if you're in the aviation sector, there's a share capital that comes with it. So you need to ask yourself, in the industry where I am entering into, what are the requirements? If there are no requirements, you can start small. You do not need to, disturb yourself. Then the next thing you want to look at is what's the procedure like when I start this business? Now, why is this essential? What I'm saying is this: if you are starting a business where you are going to be competing to bid for job, let's say from a government agency, and then you start thinking, should I register what is called a business name? A business name may limit you in a way because most government agencies would want to deal with limited liability company. I remember the story of a client who registered a business name, was doing a fantastic work, bidding for job from a multinational. He wasn't getting the best of jobs. Imagine just getting the crumbs from the king's table, if there's something like that. So, which was the case for him. And then he approached them and said, well, I'm doing your job very well, but you're not giving me the big fat briefs. You're not giving me those briefs, even though you say I'm doing something fantastic. And they had to tell him that, well, they don't give those kind of jobs to people that operate as business name. And that was a turning point for him. And that showed him he made an error somewhere, which was a foundational thing. And that error led to the problem that now is having to face. So a lot of things are there to talk about. I understand we have just 30 minutes to have this conversation, but we can continue on and on. But to wrap everything up, I'd want to create a balance in the context of what I'm saying. You see, many times I've seen this broadcast out there before, severally, where you find people saying that one kind of company registration is what needs to be done if you want to run away from tax, especially. And then you find many people, jumping in without any wisdom. And what I tell entrepreneurs in that context is you cannot, because of one thing, lose out on many other things. Get wisdom, seek knowledge. And I believe that's why we're having this kind of conversation. You need to seek information have a broad understanding of the different options you have, and then have an understanding of which one will be best suited to the project that you have to implement by reason of that company. And when you have all of these things, it becomes easy for you to excel in that journey. Thank you very, very much.
All right, thank you so much, Barrister Itai. That was wonderful. That's a good one. So the next question is for Barrister Femi Akinyemi. Please, Barrister Femi Akinyemi and Barrister Moshood, please turn on your videos. You know, the audience, they are waiting for you. They know this will be a mind-blowing exercise. So the next question is for Barrister Femi Akinyemi, and this would be on contracts and agreements. So the question is, what should entrepreneurs look for when negotiating contracts with vendors, partners, or clients? You see, a lot of times people want to get, there's someone here who dropped a question of 1.5 billion naira deal. And I'm very sure the person is only interested in the sales aspect. But what are the agreements, the terms that people should look out for whenever they push for such big deals, or even any deal? Agreement is very, very important. Even in the court of law, they would not identify your emotions or your feelings. They go straight to agreement. So you have the floor, Barrister Femi. So for the purpose of timing, we can just do 2 minutes, sir, so we can take as much as possible. People are dropping. Thank you, sir. You have the floor.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. Regarding what to be considered before entering into a contract, maybe with vendors, employee, and all that, an entrepreneur needs to know that as powerful as a Supreme Court is, they are not going to help parties to modify or make an agreement where one exists. What I'm saying in essence is that as an entrepreneur, the issue of a contractual agreement needs to be taken seriously, in the sense that a professional should be engaged to interrogate what is the best interest, what is the interest, what really matter to the entrepreneur, and also to tailor the agreement to suit that purpose. Because where there is vacuum, where there is no an express provision in an agreement, that will give where there is a dispute, that will give court or the arbiter to go extra mile to import some general rules. But where you have your agreement stating the commencement, stating all the vital aspects of the agreement, then such agreement will be binding on the parties. It is important because it is very rampant, which we do see every day, that entrepreneur or people, they find it easy to enter into contract, but to have a contractual agreement that will specify the terms will be very, very difficult for them until they run into trouble. In order to, an entrepreneur will be saving himself a lot of trouble by engaging a professional, saying, this is my interest, this is the area I want to protect and all that, and for them to draft a legally binding agreement for such upcoming. Thank you. I think for our time's sake, let me stop from here.
Okay, sir. So before you go, can you quickly take this question? So someone is saying that, Mr. Henry is saying, please, what do I need to know and put in place if I want to start up a recruiting firm? What qualifications and requirements are necessary? So before you go, you need to just put this.
A printing firm, for instance, that individual needs to consider the kind of printing. I mean, the magnitude, maybe it will be a global something, but if it is a startup business, a small business, for instance, it is important for such individual to consult a professional and divulge the scope of that business, so that they can properly advise whether limited liability company is suitable for that business, or it is just a business name. Because there is no, and whether there will be some compliance, some bodies, some compliance regulation to meet and all that. But generally speaking, to start a a printing press company, a limited liability company, or an enterprises, like a business name, will suffice for that, depending on the scale, maybe the kind of structure that such individual wants to put in place. Thank you. I think that answered the question.
Yes, thank you so much. That actually answered the question. I believe he answered the question for him. So I have another question, but not for you, sir.
All
This
right,
is
thank
for
you.
Barrister Moshood. Welcome, Barrister Moshood Abiola. And the
Thank you.
next question is for you. And that question is under fundraising and investment. A lot of us are already asking ourselves, how do I even raise funds? We heard Dr. Jewel say how we started this, raised fund and started the next, and he had multiple business. So the question is, what are the legal implications of raising capitals from friends and families? Did you get that, sir?
Yes. Thank you. So like I've said, my name is Moshood. So to answer that, we'll look at our everyday life example. You know, most people, when they go into business, they start small. Some people go into business, they get loans from their dad, their mom, or their spouses, and they go into it. Most of these loans are informal loans. There is no definite payback time. There is no definite interest rates. But in a situation where you are taking a loan from someone who wants to be very formal and official about it, then there is a need to enter into an agreement. Then you also need to know that you are ready to pay back this loan. You have to have plans for paying back this loan. So before going into the business, you have to be sure that this business is viable. Your profits, when do you start getting profits? What type of business are you going into? What's the market? So all these things are you should even have a feasibility plan. Because in an event where you go and take a loan, maybe from a bank, a financial institution, and you know, most financial institutions, when they give you a loan, yes, in 1 month's time, you start paying back. So you have to be sure that your business is you are going to start making that profit to pay that loan back. Then you also have to look at the terms of the loans, and preferably it's better you get a legal expert to look at it. You have to know the terms and conditions of the loan, when you need to pay back, the penalty clause, so that if you default in a particular month, what is the penalty? So these are terms and conditions that have to be clearly spelled out and look at it. So preferably for a new startup, for a small startup, you can get a loan from family, friends. You are sure that those ones will not have very stringent conditions, and there will be some flexibility around that. So that would be the advice. But if you have now grown and you know what is coming in, you have some money in the bank, and you know your turnover, you can predict easily what you make per month, then you can now go higher with that. So, but the summary of it is that any loan agreement you are going into has to be very specific. The terms have to be clear, well written, and you as the business owner, you have to understand the terms and know that you can meet up. Because it won't be funny if you go into such an agreement and the terms are strictly construed against you and you start having problems in the beginning. And you know how people recover loans in Nigeria. That's our peculiar nature. They use police, and you start getting harassments, you start getting invitation from the police, and even you will not even have the peace of mind to do the business. So that's very important. So it's advisable that starting out, you should get soft loans that have flexible terms from family, from friends, that you can work your way around. Yes, I'm done.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much. So I have a few questions here, and I'll ask you about 2 of them, and let's see how fast we can go, because we just have 2 minutes more to round up. And the person still opened a limited liability company with the same name. So did you get that?
No,
If
come again.
someone already if someone already has a business name registered, can the person still open a limited liability company?
Yes.
Same name?
The company and Allied Matters Act makes provisions for that. You know, most people start small and what they can afford. The CAMA, the law regulating registration of business, makes provisions for that. You know, many people start small, they register a business name and start out. So when they now grow big and they feel or they want to get bigger contracts, like Barrister Ita said earlier, they need to upgrade their system. They can now upgrade to limited liability company. The law provides for it. It's something that can be done. And the good thing there is that you can still use that same name. That's why it's good to register your name. If you want to start and you cannot afford registering for a limited liability company, you start with a business name. And when you can afford it and you think you want to go bigger, you can now transform it into a limited liability company. So CAMA, the Law Company and Allied Matters Act provides for that. It is doable. It's something that can be done.
All right, thank you so much, sir, for that. So the next question, I'll just give you this last question and then I move on to Barrister Itayo. So the question is, please, what certifications will be required for an agricultural firm that intends going into aggregation and deal with public funds? Should I take it again?
Please take it again.
Okay. Please, what certifications will be required for an agricultural firm that intends going into aggregation deal with public funds? Did you get that now?
With public funds?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, my understanding of the question is, so if you are a company that is into agriculture, if you are going to be having processed foods, I think that's you are taking it higher. The Nigerian regulatory body that regulates that is the NAFDAC, National Agency for Food and Drug Control. So if you are going to be processing any of your raw materials into processed foods or processed items, then you have to register and meet all the requirements of NAFDAC. That's my understanding of that question. And if you are going to raise funds too, there are requirements for that. If you are going to raise funds, that means you are issuing shares to the public. That would be a public limited company. There are also requirements for that under the law that you have to follow. So that means your company has to be listed on the stock exchange. Like we have examples of these banks at different times. I think Fidelity Bank is doing that now. They have issued notice for people to come and take up shares with them. So that's how to raise money. But that would be for very big companies that have good track record, good financial base, and proven integrity. I think Fidelity Bank is doing that now. They have called for public to come and take up their shares at so amount. So if you're an agricultural company that wants to go into processing of foods, then you have to also meet all the regulatory requirements of NAFDAC. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, sir. So one last question, Mr. Barry, before you take over. I'm so sorry, one last question. This person will not forgive me if I don't ask. And this question is for Barrister Itayo. So after this question, we can wrap up. And Barrister Itayo, so this question is for you. The person said, Blessing said, what certifications are needed for an exporting business? What certifications are needed for an exporting business? That's our last question. For Barrister Itayo.
Okay, thank you. So if you're going into export, I'll just recommend that you need to check out, I'll type it here. So there's the African Trade, AFTRA, what's the name now? African Trade Convention, something. I'll just quickly look for it here and I will check it. Now, why this is important is because it has many opportunities that helps you to avoid taxation at that level. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to type that here, African Trade. Okay, African Continental Free Trade Area, that's AFCFTA. Just Google AFCFTA. So if you can try to understand what they do, and you also try to process pursuant to that convention, it would mean that you would save yourself certain forms of taxes on exportation, especially within the purviews of Africa, for as many countries within Africa that have also adopted that free trade agreement. And I've seen a lot of entrepreneurs do this. Unfortunately, again, is because the information is not readily out there, or people are not getting those information. You see a lot of people spend heavily just because they're trying to gain access into new markets within Africa. But if you are thinking of moving exportation outside of that zone, yes, you can also be looking at doing investigation around NAFDAC policy, because you may not be able to, you need the endorsements of some of these agencies for your whatever you have to export outside of the country. I think with this, you're on a safe side, and you can begin to think of expanding, outside of the shores of the country. And yeah, trademark is also crucial. Whatever you are doing, you need to make sure that, you have a registered trademark when you are thinking global and wanting to get your products out there. So trademark is very crucial as well. We can talk about that further, hopefully, if time permits us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Barrister Itaya. Thank you, Barrister Akinyemi. Thank you, Barrister Moshood. You all did wonderfully well. Thank you so much. Mr. Barry, you can take it up from here.
All right. Thank you very much, Ms. Gwyneth Uchendu, for anchoring this session on legal requirements for starting up a business. Please, let's give a round of applause to our panelists and our anchor. Come on, let's go to them. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, so we're coming to the final part of today's program. I just have a few announcements to make before we call it off for today. Now, if you know, and I do know that I know that you know that I know that you have gained immense value today. If you know you have gained immense value today, please give a thumbs up. A thumbs up. Yeah, can give a love, can give a thumbs up. Yeah, to show that you have gained immense value today. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Thank you, beautiful. Thank you. Now, you see, it will be very selfish of you to have gained value today, and you don't want others to also share in value recognition. Please, you will have to do the following, okay? Kindly, tomorrow is another day. The program starts by 1 p.m. Nigerian time. 1 p.m. Nigerian time. So please, you have to log in. Please make sure you are logged in 12:50 p.m. Nigeria time. Please make sure you are logged in to the program tomorrow, 25th, 12:50 p.m. Nigerian time. And also, since you have gained value today, why don't you just do a 1-minute video and give a testimonial of today's session? Just a 1-minute video, okay? And use your phone. Do a 1-minute video and give a testimonial of the value that you have gained in today's session, and share it across all your social media platforms. Just make sure you tag our pages. Tag Stephen Akintayo Foundation, tag GTEx pages, so that it can go around. And then share the link. You have the link with you. Share the link to all your social media platforms. Let them also join tomorrow to gain value as you have gained value today. Promise me that you will do that. Come on. Yeah, let me get a yes from you. Okay, will you do that? A yes? A yes? Good, beautiful, beautiful. Also, one more thing. The link to join the WhatsApp community is on the chat. please click on the link and join the community right away. All right. I want to say a very big thank you to all our speakers, Dr. Stephen Akintayo, Chairman, Founder, GTES Holdings, and Stephen Akintayo Foundation, our most respectable, distinguished second speaker, Dr. Cosmos Maduka. Thank you very much, sir, for your time. And then our third speaker, Dr. Joel Ade Sokon. Thank you very much for that practical, valuable insight you dropped in today, okay, from your experience in running a business. The key point for me is that you have to step aside for the business to grow. That was very key. Thank you so much. And thank you, my panelists, Barrister Femi Akinyemi, you are great. Barrister Eyitayo, you are great. Barrister Moshood Abiola, you are all awesome and great. Thank you so much, all our participants that have taken time out today to join this session. I would say from me to you, it's a wonderful evening in Nigeria time. And I will see you again tomorrow. Don't forget, make sure you are logged in. 12:50 p.m. Nigeria time. Don't forget, share to all your platforms. Don't forget, do a 1-minute video of the value you have gained today and post that video. Tag all our platforms, Stephen Akintayo platforms, GTES platforms, so that it can all go viral. I want this class to be 3 times the size tomorrow. Thank you and have a good evening. Bye for now, everyone. Bye. 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 Bye.
Learn how to start and build a business into a successful global company. Learn how to trade Forex, stocks, and crypto in the financial market. You can learn how to build a real estate empire like Dr. Stephen Akintayo, and even learn about e-commerce, public speaking, and digital marketing. With our new state-of-the-art mobile app, creating wealth by gaining knowledge is even easier. You can now take your classes on the go and in multiple languages, interact with tutors, join an ongoing discussion, and expand your horizons. Download the Stephen Akintayo University app today and start your journey to financial freedom. Welcome to GTEXland, where every corner is a masterpiece waiting to be discovered. Step into the serenity of Jasper Estate, your haven in Ibeju Lekki. Feel the sand beneath your feet at Beryl Beach Front Estate, your coastal retreat. Experience the charm of Sardius Farm City Estate, where nature and community blend seamlessly in Api. Discover elegance at Sardius Estate in Ijebu Ode, where modern living meets tradition. Live in luxury at Beryl Fortis City, Kurudu's premier destination for urban living. Find your dream home at Prime Rose Estate, where sophistication meets comfort in Ibeju Lekki. Experience luxury living at Sardius Estate in Port Harcourt, where every detail is designed for your comfort. Escape to tranquility at Jasper Estate in Isheri, your peaceful sanctuary. Discover perfection at Sardius Estate in Guzape, Abuja, where luxury meets lifestyle. Indulge in elegance at Beryl Polo Estate in Asaba, where every moment is a celebration. At GTEXland, we don't just sell properties, we secure your future. Welcome to your new beginning.
Hello guys, how are you doing today? I'm Dr. Stephen Akintayo, Chairman GTEX Holdings.
My name is Kanayo O Kanayo. Of course, you know.
AKA Sacrifice.
You know. Nice sacrifice.
So guys, those of you in the US who are doing a road tour, it's a meet and greet. He is also a couple of books and he will be signing it. I'm also coming with my books and we'll be signing. I'll be sharing a lot of life lessons, investment, building wealth, and other amazing stuff. So we need you to tell us which city in the US you think we should come to.
I know we are coming to Maryland,
Yes.
Houston,
Yes.
but tell us the city you prefer we come to, where we'll be well received, create wealth, knowledge, of course, investment. We take care of your investment back home.
Yes.
You take care of the US side.
Yes. Okay, we can't wait to see you guys. So comment on this video, drop your comments on the comment section. We would like to, who knows, we may come to your city just because you commented, right? And tell us why we should come to your city.
We look forward to seeing you 15th of August to 30th of August 2024.
Okay, so we can't wait. We love you. Bye-bye.
Across Africa, a dream ignites. The dream of building a better future, of turning passion into purpose, and of achieving financial freedom. But the path to success can be a lonely one. Limited access to resources, a lack of mentorship, and the weight of doubt can hold even the brightest dreams. These are the challenges faced by countless aspiring African entrepreneurs. This is where the Stephen Akintayo Foundation steps in. We are a beacon of hope, a bridge to opportunity. We believe that education and mentorship are the keys to unlocking Africa's full potential. Through our comprehensive support programs, we provide aspiring entrepreneurs with the tools they need to succeed. And with your support, we can unlock even more potential of a continent. For sponsorship and donations, kindly contact the numbers on the screen or visit www.stephenakintayofoundation.org. Stephen Akintayo Foundation, empowering African dreams.
To get your copies of the Billionaire Habits, Billionaire Code, Billionaire Habits for Entrepreneur, Billionaire Land Banker, and Maximizing Real Estate Investment, order from Amazon now or contact the details on your screen.
In the spirit of celebrating our 16th year anniversary at GTEx Holdings and Stephen Akintayo Foundation, we are partnering with Coco Foundation to give back to the people and community of Idado Eleko in Lekki.
Àǹfààní tó dẹ̀ wá kò ní jẹ́ bànújẹ́ fún wa. Nǹkan tó dáa ló túbọ̀ máa wá lù yìí. Ọdún tó jálẹ̀ gbogbo àwọn mèremère tí wọ́n ń pín nílùú, tí wọ́n ń pín nílẹ̀ Nàìjíríà yìí ló máa tọ́ sí wa. Gbogbo ibi tí ẹ̀tọ́ wa wà la máa gbà wálé. GTEx Holdings àti Kokun Food Bank orúkọ tó wọ́n jẹ́ nìyẹn. Àwọn méjèèjì wọ́n parapọ̀, wọ́n máa ń jẹ́ bíi àwọn tó máa ń nawọ́ sí àwọn aráàlú. Ẹjọ́ eléyìí tí wọ́n gbé wá lénìí níbi tí wọ́n ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ni wọ́n gbé wá fún àwọn opó níbi tí wọ́n ti bẹ̀rẹ̀. Ṣùgbọ́n ẹ má wọlé o, à ń padà bọ̀. A máa jẹ́ kí balẹ̀ mọ̀ ọjọ́ àti oṣù a máa padà bọ̀ láti wá ṣe tójú eléyìí lọ lágbára Ọlọ́run. Inshallah.
Blessing to your able, we widows of Idado, we appreciate you.
Ilé-iṣẹ́ náà a máa gòkè ní o, kò ní rẹ̀yìn lágbára Ọlọ́run ọba o.
A dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ GTEx Holdings, wọ́n ti ń ṣe bẹbẹ nílùú, wọ́n ti ń kó ìlú, wọ́n ti ń múlù kún, wọ́n múlù dùn, wọ́n ń jẹ́ kí ọjà ó máa wà láàárín ìlú. Ìlú ń kún, ìlú ń gbòòrò, iṣẹ́ tí GTEx ń ṣe nìyẹn.
Orúkọ wa ní GTEx Holdings. Hello, my name is Kanayo O Kanayo, and